What is going on, everybody? Primetime Fight Night 13. We have a crazy night of fights as always ahead of us, guys. Got the pleasure of being joined by Onerius and Doc in the house. How you doing, lads?
After last night, it was, I'm having a really great day today. Got some much needed sleep and I'm ready to go. And like you always say, it's a great night of fights and I'm, pleasure to be alongside you gentlemen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Starting Mondays off with style. Doc, are you alive, brother? Are you ready to go?
I am alive once in a while. Hopefully this won't be as bad an introduction as previous times. This is a stacked card, though. We're heading off with the main event of Simple Beney versus Yeeticus.
Yeah.
A hell of a fight to...
Really is, mate. Really is. Yeeticus has come a long way as well. Been doing great work with his hands recently. He's up against a dangerous opponent. I think Simply Benny's like 6-2 right now, or something like that. 5-2, something down those lines. So tough opponent, 3-1. 6-2 in the main events, kind of getting up towards those top end of the ranking side of things. So interesting matchups all the way. But to be honest with you, there's a couple of matchups early on that kind of caught the eye all around. We got ChaseMeFam up against BSD JT. Obviously got Ricardo up against Kevp, Tadpole, Ajs Pug. Honestly, the list goes on and on, guys. There's so many fights. I don't want to waste any time with it. We're going to jump into the first bout of the evening. I think you've stacked it up so that we've got a PlayStation bout up first there, Doc. Ned up against LW Slick. Is Ned a debut?
Yeah, both of them are making their debut, coming in from the PS side, so should be an interesting fight.
Nice. Obviously, I'm not as familiar with the PlayStation side as of right now. Got a bunch of guys bursting through onto the scene that have been doing great. Seems like we have a font mirror match at the moment. Perfect Petis is in the red, and Big Balls Ned is in the blue. So I'm guessing Big Balls Ned is Ned. I think that's a safe bet.
I believe so. Slick started very quick, dropping him in the early round. 30 seconds, he's really got well.
Big Balls got busted, sat down, and his opponent is pressing forward, trying to land some shots. Doing a good job so far there, One Rios. I mean, just cutting off the cage nicely.
Yeah, he's definitely putting on the pressure, trying to isolate him into that narrow cage corner and just landing those heavy shots. And, you know, with Rob Fun, it's with that chin, you don't have to necessarily be afraid of getting hit while you're throwing a flurry.
He's doing a great job of mixing everything up.
Yeah, he's just working that block, using that jab fantastically, keeping that block low, then sneaking shots around the corner. Ned thinks he wants to go for a takedown, but instead Jimmy Slick denies it and just takes him straight down. He's really quite comfortable everywhere, seemingly.
Yeah, beautiful work, honestly. Once again, walks him into the hook and sits him down. Continues to pour it forward. This is beautiful work by Perfect Pet. It's really putting it all together there.
Yeah, Big Balls Ned is looking a little shriveled at the moment. He's trying to be defensive and try to survive it, but he keeps getting hit.
Man, that's it. That's got to be it. Surely, he can't survive this.
Oh my god, and it is.
My god, he was not wasting any time tonight. JakeyB Slick, you got to be proud of your man. He came through with a massive performance. Fair play to that man right there.
That's definitely a huge way to start off the night. You know, just Rob Fun's extreme pressure is a sight to behold, especially in a mirror match. Most people don't like to see mirror matches, but in a way I do, because it highlights personal skill over actual pick.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Like you say, mirror match is not always the most popular in terms of it can be sometimes a little bit difficult to kind of track or who's who, but in those sorts of matchups right there is quite obvious, especially when you've got names like Big Balls Ned. I mean, what a way to stand out with a name like that. Takes us straight into the next PlayStation bout, though. I don't know how I'm going to say that name. Is it Straket? Up against Dr. Chronicle. Are these guys making their debuts as well there, Doc?
I believe they are. Both of them making their debuts on the PS side again, so we've got another PS. Will it last as long as the previous match? I'm not sure.
These PlayStation guys always down to throw some bombs there, Winrius. I think every single fight we've had since we've opened up has been pretty much non-stop barn burners.
Oh yeah, it's definitely every time I come in here and chat with you guys and commentate over the fights, there's always been several fights that have stood out to me. But overall, as of last card, every fight has just been a chronicle of just violence every single time.
No pun intended. Dr. Chronicle here this evening, going to be starting opposite Straket. Don't know what Dr. Chronicle's Dr. Chronicle. Once again, at least one of them's got a name that follows through. Sometimes these names, trying to track who's who, it can be very difficult, especially when they're making their debuts. Got slightly different names, but Dr. Chronicle keeping it through and through. So good shit. Starting us off, got Volkanovski up against Edson Barboza. That's one of your more favored picks these days, there, Doc. Edson, isn't it?
Yeah, he's very long, especially in the featherweight division. He's just got that reach. He's got the teeps. He's got a nice straight as well, which as someone who can just walk onto quite easily. And remember, he's also got like 5-star body kick and leg kicks, but here we see the Volk doesn't really matter, and he's just walking forward.
Yeah. It's maybe a little bit problematic. It depends on how you approach it, right, Onrus? You've got a kickboxer, but then you've got somebody that's able to pressure forward like Volkanovski. Maybe problematic, can be going either way depending on how you manage to utilize your distance.
Yeah, well, personally, I've always had a trouble with Edson. You know, he has those long arms, so you have to definitely throw wide and keep them at bay. And I've never, you know, did well against pressure. But, man, talking about pressure, the Volkanovski pick is just definitely just pouring on that straight.
Yeah, he's really putting that pressure on, working down that block. He's using the jab fantastically. We saw it in the last fight as well, but people's ability to use his jab definitely makes or breaks their boxing game, and he's using it very well, keeping it in close, goes straight for a takedown, but Barboza gets a deny on it.
I know. Oh! Overhand!
Oh,
Jab straight,
God.
sits him down. I mean, the pressure's crazy. He's not going to get him out quite yet, but Dr. Chronicle just about survives by the skin of his teeth. Now trying to land some shots of his own, but the power's too much.
Yeah, and like I was hinting on, that range striking definitely does not come into favor when you're basically getting, you know, just backed up against the fence and those short shots landing accurately.
You can't just walk straight back with Barboza. You have to put on at least some type of pressure, make him scared to come forward, and his issue is now he's just taking on the block and just looking for a couple wild kicks, and Volk's coming forward, getting that block down, and then just sneaking shots in with the hooks and the overhand, and it's just working for Volk a lot more than it is for Barboza here.
Nice work, lead overhand. I mean, right now, Volkanovski is putting together these power shots and having so much success, feeling himself. I didn't even know he had that taunt. Is that the Nate Diaz taunt?
Yeah, it's definitely, it kind of looks like Nate Diaz's, you know,
Oh!
perky little...
Oh!
Oh!
Y'all want to see a dead body? He separate... Mate, didn't just separate him from consciousness, literally separated his soul from his body. You could see him just astral trajectory through the arena. That was a phenomenal pace he was able to put on. He didn't like the range early, decided to go forward, bite down on the mouthpiece, and what a kick, straight to the dome piece.
He got head kicked just before that, and then got head kicked again. I think he's definitely unconscious.
Yeah. I think he's dead, brother. I think he's dead. Rest in peace. We know he's going to be back, I'm sure, right? That's not the last we're going to see of... that's not the last that we're going to see of Dr. Chronicle. He will be back, but my God, that's a tough way to go out. With
Yeah, definitely on his shield for sure.
Yeah, you know, all action, man, all action. You've got somebody in your face like that. We've seen it with the likes of, you know, Bang Bang, one of the best pressure fighters that there is about, just gonna get in your face and really making that cage feel small. He had to do that in order to turn it around. Once he was able to do so, obviously, Dr. Chronicle just simply wasn't able to utilize the tools that make Edson Barboza, you know, Edson Barboza. So got swarmed, got rushed over. Tough. No, he's going to come back better than ever, I'm sure. Or I would hope so. Go back to the lab, kind of look at what made it wrong. Maybe it'll be a pick change next time. Maybe work a little bit on exiting those pockets and backs being up against the cage. But with all of that being said, guys, it does take us on to our next one. We're going to be having our first Xbox bout of the evening. We're going to have Obama Your Mama up against Killshot Fired. Interested for these two guys, to be straight up with you. I've heard them kind of talking about on Twitter and this, that, and the other. Interesting, especially Killshot Fired. He's been active about kind of calling out his shots. Once a fight with somebody in particular after this one, gonna have to see if that comes to fruition. He has to get through his opponent here this evening, and obviously Obama Your Mama not going out without a fight.
Yeah, definitely these names are quite comedic today, but those hands we are seeing flying around aren't, so definitely a fight to see right now.
Didn't quite get to see the picks right there. Was that a Gaethje pick up against? Yes, it is. And was it a Holloway? I think it might have been.
Holloway in lightweight isn't as good as he in featherweight. I think he has similar stats, but I think for the main part, it's actually kind of less beneficial to go Holloway up in the lightweight division.
He can still be an absolute pain in your backside. Nevertheless, with the cardio and the pressure he's able to put out. But you're right, the power just not quite there, is it, dog?
Yeah, especially when you're fighting someone like Gaethje, you got to think Omrius that this is going to be like a power versus speed matchup.
Oh yeah, for sure. And at the end of the day, you know, I do believe Max Holloway's legs aren't ideal in the health area. So if Gaethje keeps pouring on the pressure and chops at those legs, I believe it's going to be a short night. That's
a really good point there, Wonderous. I mean, Gaethje's got absolutely hellacious leg kicks as well. The damage that he's able to get off with it, he has that ability to throw it after his combinations, just really work it into a wild and chaotic fight. So looks like he's trying to utilize it as well, but a big overhand and a knee for Holloway, trying to land some nice damaging shots in the opening going.
Yeah, it does seem like Holloway's figured out his distance a bit more than Gaethje. Both of them still trying to work it out, but Holloway seems to be the one mainly into it, and he gets a knockdown.
Yeah, that's definitely something we don't usually see, especially like you said from the Max Holloway picking lightweight.
I mean, he is just laser focused tonight. The shots are landing pinpoint precision on the chin of Gaethje, and so far the power may not have necessarily been needed when they're just being landed so perfectly. See if he's able to stop himself being held down, and he is straight back to his feet there, Wondrous. Love to see those active movements and rush to get back to his feet.
Especially with Holloway, he's not so great off his back, so it's a good thing to see him know his game plan and try to get back up as quick as he can. Beautiful.
Oh, he's got stunned massively though. That's like he's got a knockdown and a body stun. Gaethje's stance probably going to be a bit affected now, and Gaethje needs to pull something out or just back off because of kill shot. It's just letting him walk forward and finding his shots as he comes in.
That right there was beautiful. He stepped off to the power side as Holloway was spinning, was able to get a counter as a result. Maybe not the result he was looking for from the counter, but knowing that that's there, definitely going to be looking for that going forward. Right now, getting Holloway backed up against the cage. I mean, it is a dangerous thing to do, but he's landing with the best success so far in this round. A minute left in the first. Nice head kick. Kill shot fired, having the most adversity, thus far in the fight. Looking maybe just to survive after that early success. Was there a rock that he got? Definitely got a leg health event.
He's got a body health event, a leg health event, and a knockdown. He's definitely worked it up his way across all their body. Gaethje is landing shots over the chin, and Holloway may not stand the test.
Yeah, that leg health is definitely worse for wear right now as he gets that check rock. And, oh, well, that happened. We usually see those in OWC, not here, but that's definitely interesting.
Oh, that's
saved by saved by the bell, guys. Right at the end, the spin was perfect. Just sits him down, walks to his corner confidently, and going to be coming out in this next round, the second round, feeling all sorts of confident.
Digs that leg again, probably hoping to get another stun. Obama comes out using that jab a bit, but still can't find his distance.
It does seem to be having a little bit of a problem with it there. Oh, Jesus! Wondrous, those spin kicks are doing so much damage to Obama's body.
Yeah, he's definitely laser focused and beautifully accurate on that Max Holloway pick. Kill shot fired is putting it on a clinic, to say the least.
He really is. That pull counter has been there to Obama a couple of times. Really not getting the desired results from it, but that's probably due to his stamina and damage he's got to be feeling right now. We can't see it, but Holloway's landed so much on this man.
Holloway's just picking his shots going anywhere. You gotta think, Honorius, that at some point Gaethje's just gonna go all in and start trying power shot after power shot.
Well, to be honest, with that game plan in mind, I would have thought he would have used it early on because, Max Holloway definitely has the stamina advantage. And as you said, it is speed versus power, but at the moment, we're seeing him incredibly powerful with his accuracy. Oh my goodness. That was a bit of a caster curse right there, and wow. That power definitely showed tonight in the hands of Killshot Fired.
He just sent a man to hell. What the hell did I just witness?
A massacre. Just plain massacre.
The flying knee. R.I.P. Gaethje on the wrong side of the highlight this evening. Max Holloway, Blessed Express, picking up the W. Onwards he moves. I mean, what a way to start these fights. That was the close to the early prelims, guys. And, I mean, that's only the early prelims. Still many, many more fights to come. Got two fan-friendly favorites up next. Got AJS Rara Rasputin up against BSD Broomstick. These guys, I mean, if you've been around the scene for a while, not too much needs to be said about them. Ups and downs within, in terms of their performances, right? But always here and always game, always improving. And quite candidly, just there's some of the people who have made some of the biggest adjustments in their game that we've seen there, Doc. I know I aim this as you, since you've been around for quite a long time in the community. Some of the adjustments that these guys have made in their games have been, fantastic and really made themselves a threat, to anybody that they're approaching.
Indeed, Rara has built up. He's gone from a striker and then built up his grappling as he's continued. He's done a fantastic job at showcasing his ability to change and ability to bowl. Broomstick is the same. Came in on a losing streak and has recently turned that around. Got a couple wins as well, all the way back in season 1. And I think he's trying to do that now in season 2. So, as you said, both of them have made extreme adaptations in how they play, and they've just shown massive improvements from where they originally started.
This is a perfect weight class to be able to display your full MMA skills there, One-Rails. Have so many options in the Bantamweight. Looks like we have Dillashaw and Cruz in this one. Very, very fun matchup.
Oh, I definitely love the Cruz pickup. It's, one of my favorite picks in Bantamweight, even though I haven't been quite as successful. Yeah, it's definitely, I don't think it's going to turn out as, as similar to the fight in real life. I believe the TJ Dillashaw pick will try to pressure forward, but not eat too many leg kicks and extend some of his own. Definitely beautiful body work coming out of Broomstick early on.
Doing well. Looks like Broomstick's trying to pressure forward. Broomstick's a man that I trained with very, very recently. Helps sharpen each other's kind of all-around MMA tools. The man has been working on his body snatching, as the gym name would dictate, or suggest, I should say. Nice takedown defense from him right there. Now, I would say that in this fight, Broomstick's going to have all sorts of success in the feet, I would have to imagine. Rara is definitely going to have the slight advantage on the feet as well, on the ground as well. So I think this is a bit of a tale of two halves. I think Rara does need to shoot that double leg given the opportunity, as Broomstick has been looking very clean on his feet recently. Look at that pull counter right there.
Oh, lovely not getting that defend off it, but then again, Broomstick putting on that pressure, and narrative was like, but again, Broomstick happy to put on his pressure and just look for it.
Gotta be careful not to get overextended there, One-Rails, otherwise, Rara's going to be looking for one of those big counters to sit him down.
Yeah, as you said, TJ Dillashaw has really good pressure, but he does not want to extend it too far, because as we've seen Rara in the past, he does have quite a few counter shots in his arsenal.
Nice denial. This is where Rara does his best work, as we were just mentioning. Doc staying in this position, staying calm and composed, knowing that you've got 2 minutes on the clock. What would you like to see out of him going forward? Definitely not getting reversed.
Yeah, definitely getting reversed, but the main game when you're on the ground, you're staying out at full guard. Being in full guard doesn't get you any control time, and that's one of your main plays when you're on the ground, is getting that control time. Even then, Rara's probably just playing it slowly. Instead, he gets back up onto the feet and starts walking back again. Clipping was straight, but it's still getting pressured heavily by Broomstick. Rara's looking to take this down, but he's just a bit unsure how to engage on this. You'd imagine that Rara's going to have to look for, just shoot a normal takedown at some point instead of going for a sprint strip.
Well, with Cruz, you definitely want to stay on the outside, getting in with those straights, possibly working the legs. He's got great leg kicks. He just needs to focus on just working the outside rather than just face checking a Dillashaw, because definitely not something you want to do at short range.
Yeah, that is true. With Dominic Cruz only about 89 power, he's very much someone you just look for counter shots and just work down slowly instead of looking for those big shots. That being said, I think Broomstick wins that first round.
Yeah, just maybe a little bit of the cleaner side of the striking. Rara not really able to implement his grappling game, as maybe you alluded to there, Doc, having a little bit of an issue setting up the takedown due to that pressure and, you know, the precision of those strikes. I think the broomstick, as we see right there, slightly over 50% clip on his land percentage. Those are very, very good stats. Nice footwork from Rara, trying to use a little bit more of that elusiveness of Dominic Cruz, a little bit of the unorthodox movement. Maybe you can use that to set up a big shot or the takedown. Right now, having some problems. Nice step off and the takedown. That was perfect work, Onrius, and exactly what he needed with so much time on the clock.
Yeah, it's definitely what he needs at the moment. He's not having very much success in the striking department. He does find his own on the ground. He's working the body. He switches to half guard. And he definitely tries to hold. That's what I would think he would want to do. Because at this moment, he's not looking very good on the feet. But just showing some dominant work on the ground at the moment.
Yeah, this is a more kind of, you know, traditional striker v grappler sort of matchup, at least in my opinion. Both guys can do a little bit of both. It's just they definitely have their bread buttered in one way or another. Right now, though, I think that Dillashaw's doing the right thing. He's staying shelled up, managed to work his way back to his feet. Looks like Rara's deciding to go back to some damage. Nice overhand on the break.
Yeah, again, Rara is looking to stand the back foot. That's takedown, as we saw earlier. Broomsticks very much is looking to that pressure and overwhelming the strikes, which is exactly what you do when you're dealing with takedown. But often flying knee lands, bit of low head help, but again, Rara can't land any other shots past that, and so head help just goes back up, and Broomsticks not necessarily in danger on the feet.
Do you know what, honestly, Rara's actually looking better when he's just letting go and flowing. The movement, the switch stances, it's looking a lot cleaner. I think he may just be overthinking a little bit on the feet. He definitely seems to know what he wants to do, but right now, Broomstick just trying to attack, gets et with a stiff straight. These guys throwing down in the last 1 minute 40 on the clock, gets him rocked, pushing for the finish. My God, Broomstick's all power down the stretch.
Beautiful kick that just ends the night for Rasputin. He started looking very good, but he just couldn't come into his own on the striking department.
Nope, Broomstick looking as clean as ever on the feet tonight, staying composed up against a dominant, you know, grappler like like Rara, who has been making great adjustments in the striking realm himself. We saw how, you know, how good he looked just for a couple of moments when he started to let loose on the feet, but as you mentioned there, Onrius, the turn of the tides, Broomstick landing that beautiful 1-2 head kick after doing some great work in the first round as well. Honestly, fantastic fight. Knew it was going to be so, taking us one step closer into this card. We appreciate that one, guys. Cannot wait to see both of these step back in the octagon. Hopefully next weekend, should they both be back in the, you know, back in the areas. With that one in the box, though, we move on to another PlayStation bout. We're going to be having LW High Roller up against AJ MMA. I'm not familiar with these guys personally. Like I said, very, very new. I think that maybe High Roller's had one performance in the past there, if I'm not incorrect, Doc. But with all of that, he comes from a very, very, you know, well-respected camp already. We've known the LW camp. They've been around for a little while now, a couple of, you know, just over a month, I think, and they've got a lot of members there, Doc. So,
yeah, LW's been recruiting quite a bit. This is their second showcase on this card. They've been up and coming. They're a brand new camp on the scene, looking to make themselves known. High Roller is 1-0, I believe, making his debut on my last pay-per-view or fight night. I can't remember, but it's
one of the last cards. Yeah. Don't have the stats to hand, but that's okay. No, he's like I said, I think he was 1-0 when I was checking the stats, and you know, nice to be undefeated. Definitely don't want that O to go. AJ MMA, am I right in saying that man's making his debut, Doc?
I honestly can't remember off the top of my head. He was 1-0 making his debut. I was thinking suspicion he may actually be 1-0.
1-0 as well. We'll have a little bit of a check in the we'll have a check on the records as they load in right now. But we are in the middleweight weight class. First middleweight bout of the evening. These guys are going to be able to stack a lot of power in those punches and kicks. Whitaker mirror match is what we're about to see. It looks like they're both rocking the green shorts, so looks like we're going by glove colors. But yeah, AJ MMA is going to be in the blue corner. His opponent is going to be in the red. Let's go, High Roller. Let's do it.
Dang. Oh, Whittaker pick. That's always a common one. Middleweight is kind of dominated by Whittaker picks, to be fair.
You can understand why, right? He's
Yeah, good leg kicks, good grappling, good head kicks, good boxing. He's got fantastic recovery, which kind of dictates how you play the game, to be fair.
Oh, stiff jab. Gets crushed by the knee, but that was a really, really stiff jab.
High Roller's definitely looking a little bit passive, trying to look for the counter shots. With a name like that, you would think he would take more chances, but maybe the safe bet into the mirror pickup just to find his reads early on is probably a safer option.
Yeah, no, I think you see that especially as you go up the card, you know, people start to take this first round a little bit more as an adjustment round, trying to get some reads on your opponent. Of course, it's one thing if the finish comes to you, but maybe not hunting it is the better all-rounded approach. But these guys already starting to heat up nice and quickly. They're Wanderers not wasting any time now. They've got it going.
Yeah, High Roller's staying steady, staying patient. He's just letting his opponent whip shots coming in to counter and then just building on the combos. You see him land like a 1 or 2 piece and then comes in with a straight 4 piece after he knows he's going to land. Just releasing every time.
Yeah. Educated range management, is eating some shots on the retreat though, doesn't want to be standing there taking pictures after his combinations. AJ MMA's head health starting to have a couple of moments of flashing already. Nice attack to the body though, especially after the missed attempt. Those are going to start to add up if he continues to miss and be punished to the body.
High Roller's landing quite a complicated combo.
Ooh.
The ground, the head kick followed by that punch just straight down. He recovers well, but he's still on the back foot right now.
Oh my god, he walked him into it. Stepping into it, the head kick sits him down. The pressure is not over yet. Great time.
Takedown manages just to avoid all the major damage now, but can he keep it down on the ground and maybe make this go back in his favour? You got a minute 30 left and you can get to the top now. You can do quite a bit of damage there, but it's still all to play for.
Yeah, no, that doing absolutely fantastic. You know, so far is the red corner. Now on the back, of course, but gets the reversal, the calm composure from High Roller. Nice stuff.
Yeah, High Roller took a chance right there and raised it on him, and it was an impressive combo, one after the other, that landed 2 knockdowns. And it was, you know, a third too as well. I mean, AJ MMA is definitely trying to survive.
Oh my god, man. That's brutal. There was nothing he could do. The block was gone. The head health was gone. The pressure was still on. This time round, High Roller getting the job done. Great work, 2-0 for that man right there. He's going to be feeling very, very confident going forward. And another win for the LW boys. Those guys are showing to be lethal weapons for sure.
Have we gone to the 3rd round yet?
No.
I don't think we have.
We've barely seen a second, mate. We've barely seen a second. I mean, I don't mind, though. They want to keep putting up this sort of pace and keep knocking each other out with that sort of emphatic fashion, then. I'm all aboard, my man. I'm all aboard.
There's definitely been some great fights from the PS4 side, for sure. I haven't seen many up until recently, and man, they are definitely showcasing a lot of talent over there.
Well, this has been an absolute pleasure so far. I think the next one's gonna be exactly the same. I think. I know. We're gonna have Mystic Mac, an absolutely fantastic boxer, a really, really educated jab. Coming in up against a tough opponent in EK Issues there. Obviously, being one of the EK boys, you know that he's going to have a base skill level. Exactly how he decides to implement it, we're about to see. I think Issues is more of a striker, Doc. I know that you've sparred with him in the past, so that's why I ask. Is that right?
No, I have not started with him in the past.
Oh, right, okay.
I believe he's come in and was a grappler, in fact. I think when Usman versus an Ed was picked. Well, I could be wrong.
No. That does ring a bell. Now you say it, that does ring a bell. Well, these guys are all ready to go. They are loading in. We are seeing Figueiredo up against Demetrius Johnson. Mystic Mac is using Demetrius Johnson. EK Issues is using Figueiredo. The big power of Figueiredo may be a little bit of a problem for the Mighty Mouse, but he does have the precision, the technique, and the speed to go with it.
It's definitely a classic power versus speed matchup, and I do favor the DJ myself. He just needs to work in and out, pulling his range forward and backwards. Just land those jabs and maybe those kicks to just chop at his opponent's base.
Oh, but you see, he has to land 3 for every one of Issues lands because he just lands so heavy with the, with the champ or the ex-champ now, Featherweight, just marching forward, landing those bombs. I do like that Johnson is just peppering those shots like you were calling for there, one where it's just continually popping the jab in his face, making sure something comes behind it.
Like, he's getting pressured. He's just, and you see that's the issue. Figgy has that power. You can't stand there and just hope your chin and your head movement will survive, because that block's going to die quickly. Figgy may not have the best block he does, but if he's just throwing shot after shot, your block's going to be about the same as Figgy's by the end of it.
Lovely work. Issues on display tonight. My God, send him to hell. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Get your ass to jail. He did fantastic. What a knockout. Flawless performance from EK Issues tonight. There was really just didn't let Mystic Mac get started. Wasn't allowing him to utilize that jab. And I mean, what a way to close out that fight there, guys.
Yeah, he just made it look easy. Mac is a tough opponent, and he just made it look like it was easy. It was it's an impressive showcase by Issues getting that and just working him down. He didn't let... I doubt Mac even threw maybe 10 shots. He just was constantly on the defense. He just couldn't get anything going.
Yeah, I feel like he walked forward, right? Mystic Mac landed a 5-piece, and Issues just... he got mad, and he just said, fuck you, and walked forward and took his head off. That's the way it went, and it was beautiful work. Issues put together some excellent combinations, able to close the show out nice and quickly, and once again, we don't get to see a second round or a third out of it in one there. And
we barely saw a first.
Yeah, we barely saw a first. Right, straight on to the next one. We're going to be having an old champion back in the IFL days on UFC 3, ChaseMeFam, making another reappearance in the cage up against BSD JT. These guys, like I said, a little bit newer on the UFC 4 side of things, both of them I do believe there, but I'm very, very interested to see how they match up. Like I said, lots and lots of respect for ChaseMeFam, his skills in the past and what he's been able to display in UFC 4 thus far. Not as successful as a career in UFC 4, but definitely building on those skills that he's had in the past and starting to put it all together there. Going forward, going to be a little bit of a tough one maybe, up against the dangerous camp of BSD in the member JT.
Yeah, JT Money previously competed us all the way back in Fight Night 3, coming back, and now joined up with BSD, hoping to look to just showcase these improvements. And as you said earlier, ChaseMeFam being an old champ is a definite opponent to prove yourself against. Yeah, for sure.
Well, when ChaseMeFam is at his best, he's mixing it all together, likes to use the the striking into the grappling. Obviously, I'm not as familiar with JT. Have you come across him yourself personally, Doc? I know that obviously you get about training with a lot of people.
No, I haven't. He's competed a few times under us, so I've seen bits and pieces, but he hasn't competed us for a while now. So whatever I probably know about him probably doesn't match up to what in showcases now, though, to be fair.
Fair. What about yourself there, Wonder? Have you come across either of these gentlemen?
I've actually been in quite a few talks with BSD, but no, I haven't been able to have the luxury of sparring JT Money or seeing him fight, so definitely on the same page as Doctor right now.
Well, we're about to find out how they're about to stack up. We see the Jon Jones up against Stipe Miocic fight. Absolutely beautiful. Jon Jones is ChaseMeFam. He's going to be looking to utilize those teeps, maybe the wrestling, the long-rangey shots. Obviously, JT going to have to use that boxing a little bit more, maybe burst into the range and let Jon Jones that he may not be in the right weight class.
He probably wants to be standing close instead of doing the opposite of what he's doing now. He doesn't want to be giving Jon Jones range. He's got the takedown, he's got the length, and that's where Jon Jones is arguably the best at. His boxing isn't very good in the pocket, so if you're Stipe, you probably want to be keeping it in close and just working him down.
Yeah, green, red, green. All the way out, all the way in. That middle ground, that's the danger zone. That's where you need to avoid. Right now, I think the JT is doing a pretty good job of it, though, using that job to cover the range, getting back out Look at that. Misses the leg, the body kick, does John Jones, and then eats an overhand from JT. He's trying to let it go. Has to be a little bit careful of the stamina, but that ain't going to be too much of a concern should one of those big bombs land.
I definitely would like to see more shortened strikes coming out of JT. It's definitely similar to the Volkanovski and Edson fight. He needs to stay in that pocket range and land those strikes. Maybe throw it up with some maybe uppercuts, a straight, just to set up his hooks. He throws wild in the chance of catching him, but he just needs to time his shots a little bit better.
Yeah, I do agree, but again, it's a case of your John Jones versus Stipe. Length is going to be a bit difficult.
I mean, I don't know if you agree there, guys. You know, throw it up to either one of you, but clinching takedowns, especially around this, 2-minute mark of the first round, maybe starting to be a great idea. But just for either guy, should either one of them get on top, there'll be a lot of options.
Yeah, like Stipe isn't particularly known for his wrestling, but he's definitely got it. And for John Jones, even on the back, it's like you would think either one could just hold it, especially with later minutes right left. It's a safe bet if you're kind of stalemating on the feet, which seems to be the case here. JT looking to try that wild overhand, but ChaseMeFam just staying again, pull back uppercut and dig into that body again with the spin kick.
It's all about precision down the stretch, one race. ChaseMeFam landing those shots so cleanly.
Yeah, he's landing some great body shots, but as soon as I was about to highlight on him, he just gets a huge knockdown.
Yeah, those body kicks set him up.
Allowing Jones way too much room, like you said originally.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was Doc saying that and yourself, covering that distance against John Jones is going to be absolutely vital. The range management looks on point for ChaseMeFam this evening, though. That was a bad miss right there. Almost got sent to hell by Stipe, not landing cleanly enough. He's trying to get some counters going, but honestly, it looks like ChaseMeFam is starting to run away with it. The stamina looked like it was at a massive advantage. The couple of knockdowns, he's going to be feeling supremely confident going into the second round.
Indeed, one of the few times we've seen the second round so far this card, but yeah, it could be all over within 10 seconds by the state of this card, to be fair.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, my man. Blowing each other out of the water so far, not wasting any time to land these chambered up bombs, trying to make sure that they get a quick payday. Here in PrimeTime get themselves a little bit closer to that elusive gold. He's looking like he's trying to land those bombs with every single ounce of him. John Jones answering back, eating an uppercut for his trouble. There, wonders what would you actually say? Because he looks like he's trying to pressure. What kind of combinations do you think he needs to start throwing in order to start, changing the tides? Because ChaseMeFam is just circling very well at the moment.
He landed a beautiful knee right there. Maybe he needs to, time some knees up the middle. Oh, and that's, he's just hitting that range part. He's giving him too much space. He needs to shorten up his shots, maybe throw a leg kick or jab to set up his entry.
Oh my god.
I think he's too hurt to do it now. We're saying that he needs to get in his pocket, but I think he's too hurt to even trade. Every time he's getting clipped, his head help is blinking, and ChaseMeFam's just going straight up top and just getting a knockdown of some form.
He entered this round at a point where he could have turned this round, but the damage being output from John Jones is so massive right now that it's going to take an absolute miracle for him to turn the tides. ChaseMeFam is really just styling away, landing every single shot that he is looking to land. JT, he's a gamer though. He isn't giving up at all. Looks like he's trying to stay composed. I think that's maybe why he's taking these moments to back up, trying to get ChaseMeFam to try and go for that finish and overextend himself. Catches him with the uppercut. These heavyweights, they don't play, man. They got power for days.
And so you may be low stand, but like one clean shot and you are definitely out, especially this rate. Stipe's got those hands in his power, but again, it definitely seems like it is still ChaseMeFam's fight. It's just getting those couple punches off and then digging with a kick, but we say that JT nearly uppercuts him as he ducks down.
Yeah, it's just highlighting the the battle of the range where he just eats that shot and gets just tripped over his own legs, it seems, but every time he tries to go in the pocket, he's leading with hooks, and when it's at that range, it's just a detriment to his stamina. and just sets up an easy counter shot from ChaseMeFam, and he drops him.
Oh, man.
Oh my.
Yeah, no, this is absolutely brutal. The stamina is shot, the head health is shot, the body health is shot, and now he is dead. Like, just Christ dead, on the ground, starfished. Cannot blame the man. That was a brutal front kick, and honestly, that was tough. Fair play to him to sticking true to it. You've seen people in the past maybe rage out in those moments, letting frustration settle in, but JT staying composed till the very end. But ChaseMeFam just a little bit too much this evening. That was perfect work for him. He really had a performance of a lifetime. Looked fantastic. Shades of old, and I'm really interested to see if he can continue that momentum going forward, guys, because if he's able to, that's a problematic performance for anybody in this league.
That would take up the division. What do you think, Doctor? Is he someone that could climb pretty quickly?
I mean, if he has that performance a couple more times, that's definitely looking at making a name. No, he's already has his name. Wow, that's an impressive sense of words. He already has his name somewhat known already, but that performance definitely brings it out there. If he can continue that going forward, he's definitely looking at being a big name.
But it's one of those things, right, Doc, where a lot of the people who have been around in the scene for quite some time, they know who ChaseMeFam is, but if you're newer to the scene, maybe not so much, right? So just making a resurgence, having a performance like that, a really strong, dominant performance, that's going to be feeling really good. But like I said, he's going to have to replicate that in his next one out there in order to really kind of put the stamp on it, right? With all of that being said, though, we move on to another very fun bout. We're going to be seeing TP Lepo up against LW Havoc. We're not going to be wasting any time with it at all. Gonna get straight into it. Bear with me just a moment as they load up. I know that you're familiar with both guys there. I believe both of you are. What can you tell me ahead of this one?
Lepo originally started as a striker, got his grappling up to spar, and then built up back to striking, so he's got an all-round game. Havoc, I believe, is a striker, but I could be entirely wrong in that assessment.
Well, Havoc is definitely one of those strikers. I've sparred with him quite a bit in the past now. He's definitely one of those strikers that loves the flashy strikes, the, just out of nowhere, weird, unorthodox striking. He does prefer using Pettis. He throws the Showtime kick quite often, as I will say. And Lepo, definitely one of those, overall very well balanced fighters coming out of ICB. Originally, it was just, he was one of those scary individuals you didn't want to come across.
I believe this one is going to be in, is it lightweight or welterweight? Let's see right there, but yeah, it looks like we're seeing Jorge Masvidal up against Anthony Pettis, which is very fun. Both guys, fantastic strikers, abilities to counter grapple. But normally you're going to see these guys throw hands and feet at each other at all given times.
Indeed. Like, it's just right going. Masvidal's got that kickboxing, he's got that boxing, he's got everything kind of on the feet. Pettis the same. Pettis also has a rubber guard on the grappling, so it's a fun mix of both sides with Pettis. I think he also has a top mount go-go player.
All I'm saying is expect a lot of Showtime kicks.
Showtime
it's
kicks.
definitely one of those flashy fan favorite strikers.
Yes, sir. I mean,
Looney would know. He had crypto in his fight drawback 3, I believe.
ChaseMeFam in the chat. That's 2 back-to-back KOs. Keep them coming for me, Doc. That's what he says. He's calling out. He wants all the smoke. Love to see it. These guys going to get after it right now. Jorge Masvidal going to have that crispy boxing up against Anthony Pettis. Much more of a kickboxing approach. Going to have to see who's able to dictate the range in this one. Looks like Anthony Pettis is trying to get that done early with that side kick, making sure his opponent's a little bit out of that range in order to be able to land those favored boxing combinations.
Yeah, and both of them starting very nice on the boxing. Bit of the kicking as well. Lepo seems to have been a bit uncertain of his kicking range so far, though.
Yeah, like we say when it was Prime Pettis, he was just he had great work in the pocket, and definitely staying true to that nature as well as timing his kicks very effectively, not going to it too much.
Oof. It's always a good option, man, throwing up those head kicks and punches to the head when you catch a kick early, because a lot of people expect the trip now, so just getting off that nice little chunk of damage, always a great option. Lepo now finding himself in full guard, not where exactly he wants to be. The rubber guard options are there, not for too long. Great work stacking it. Gonna imagine he's gonna get separated momentarily.
Gets to get up and doesn't go for the half guard transition instead. Probably doesn't want to get on the ground, as you saw by the rubber guard, but now goes back to this kickbox style, which seems to be working for Pettis.
Yeah, honestly, Havoc's doing very well in and out of the pocket. He's landing some good kicks and he's landing some good punches. He hits him with a cartwheel kick. Definitely, like I said, just watch out for the flashy striking, but Lepo did get, the better of that trade in the pocket for a second, landing 2 clean hooks.
Lepo's taking a lot of shots in his block, I've noticed. He's trying to find an opening, it just isn't the case. Havoc's firing his shots up and then pissing off out of the pocket just so Lepo doesn't have enough time. We say this when Lepo is back on the ground again. Looks that rubber guard gets a deny though, makes the read and goes into the half guard position. From here you'd expect him maybe to look for the top mount or side control, possibly even a posture up, but I imagine the side control, as I say that though, he gets a reversal clearly into full guard.
I think he was just saying, y'all must have forgot. He can grapple. I mean, the man's been a beautiful pressure striker for quite a long time now, has Lepo. That's what we've seen from him in a lot of his performances. But should he decide to, he can grapple. Wasn't able to for so long. Looks like Havoc is savvy to it, trying to work those kicks once more. 98 seconds on the clock, but a couple of big bombs for Masvidal.
Been working with cold-blooded, evidently.
I do have to highlight that for a relatively new figure on the scene, Havoc is doing quite well against a veteran like Lepo.
Yeah, he's looking really good. He's landing some clean shots, but Lepo's trying to take center stage, you see. He's trying to cage cut. And I feel like when somebody's doing this, the person on the back foot is just always at the bigger risk of walking into a shot. Just because the side steps, your range of motion is dictated by how much space is around you. So if you've got that cage backed up against your back, then you can't really lean out of the range of some of those uppercuts and other shots that you may have been able to evade otherwise. So we'll have to see how they pan out. Both guys landing beautifully. Some great counter shots from Anthony Pettis, but some nice pressure from Lepo. Second round, guys. We're yet to see a third. Will this be the one? I don't imagine so. The pace is only amping up already.
Well, they're going pretty slow. Lepo won the first round, but again, he's just staying patient. He's looking for his openings, and Pettis is kind of giving to them, even if he's heading out the pocket pretty quickly.
I think he needs to follow the game plan. He needs to throw a few more feints with the kicks and punches and possibly open up to the legs just a bit more, because Masvidal, definitely, if you take out his lead leg, he loses some of the power advantage as well.
I feel like Lepo's playing vulnerabilities at the moment. He's just walking forward, planting his feet anytime he gets him, kind of cornered in a spot, waiting for Pettis to throw and then trying to answer, but...
Zunding knocks him down with the hook. What was gas?
The confidence is oozing from Lepo with that duck, pouring it on. Havoc is in deep trouble. 3 minutes 30 on the clock, one wrist, and he is in a world of trouble.
Yeah, he definitely needs to compose himself and just start working that head movement. That was a beautiful, nice duck, but he does get hit by that head kick on the block. But he's still staying true to that flashy style, and that cartwheel kick did cost him quite a bit. And this could be it, honestly. He's definitely...
He finishes it.
Well, my God.
It won't be the third round fight we see.
Definitely, following the tail of the tape as of yet. But
that fight went from a decently fast pace to
just
foot on the pedal. Yeah, it was like, hang on, where has this pace come from? Because after that, Lepo got dropped, and then he wanted to kill the man, and that's what he did.
I think all that flashiness and the cartwheel kicks here and there definitely angered Lepo quite a bit, but gotta give it to Havoc. Even for his debut, he did quite well against somebody like Lepo.
He did. He looked fantastic early, you know, especially. He was doing great work, landing some fantastic combinations. You know, the savvy of Lepo just coming through tonight, though. He was able to do some great work and change those tides, land those boxing combinations. Great work by him, and interested to see where he goes from here. You know, when Lepo's on, he is an absolute nightmare for anybody in that cage. He's normally the guy that finds me on ranked each and every time I load it up. He hasn't done for a long time. I may have been ducking the man. Going to continue to do so after a performance like that for sure. With that all being said, though, ladies and gents, we move straight on to the next one. We're going to be having Kevp up against FSK for the vibes. Ricardo should be a very, very fun matchup. Both guys always bring it. Obviously, the FSK boys been doing great work as of recently. This is, I believe, their founding member is Ricardo. So he's going to be looking to do his boys proud. Kevp obviously very, very dangerous in his own rights, though, guys. What can you tell me about this one?
Well, I've definitely sparred with him quite a bit, honestly, in our 3 days and 4. I do believe we have about 300 to 400 matches alone together. And honestly, when given his moments, he will definitely stand and bang with you and strike with a very good volume. And his grappling has come into its own once he figured it out. It took a little bit for him to see the changes, but he's definitely a decent grappler on the ground, mainly defensively, but he does have quite some offensive talent.
On the other hand, Ricardo, as you said, with Kevp being a stand and bang striker, that is the bread and butter of Ricardo. He will stand there, he will brawl, and he will most likely win. He's got a fantastic sense of when to throw, when to trade, when not to, when to get out of the pocket. And imagine this won't go down to the ground unless necessary. But saying that Kev did pick Cejudo, so you never know. Both of them have got the Zabit trip, so it could go down to the ground.
Yeah, this is a fun fight for sure. Kevin has shown some talent in the past. He did catch me with that pull counter when I thought it was all over. I was thinking I would have had the win easily. Not okay. I was gonna say there's
confusion and touch the gloves and the bowing, but they get to it and straight back into the action. Both down in the pocket. Kev goes straight for the takedown. Ricardo on his back, slightly gassed now, but probably needs to look for something. Denies the crucifix transition. Goes straight into sprawl. Probably looking for the up transition to get him against the cage, but who knows at this rate? Anything could happen.
Yeah, Kevin's been working on his grappling and our sparring quite a bit. He's had some moments against me, but Ricardo does get that stand-up into the cage, and Kevin wisely backs out of it.
Yeah, Ricardo's a well-rounded player. He can definitely grapple if he wanted to, but he just prefers to strike. So he's, not going to rush it. Finds his way back to his feet. Plenty of time now to work, landing some good shots. Peter Yan is visibly so much bigger than Henry Cejudo, and definitely seems to have more impact when he lands. Pez dispensers the Triple C's head back and forth.
Yeah, well, it should be a note that Cejudo has some really vicious leg kicks as well, so you can use them. You're very much in time with using them. He's got some fantastic power. Habs about 95, so if you do get hit by Cejudo, you definitely feel it.
Ricardo's definitely landing some nice body shots, hitting to the head and then going straight down to the body where you least expect it. And he's definitely using his pull back and forward motion to set up most of his strikes.
He's just using that length very well. Every time Kev comes in, he's just sticking out a jab, stopping him straight in his tracks and then building off from it. He's attempted that takedown twice now and he's denied it both times. Gone for a trip and gets another deny. Kev's really hunting for that takedown and Ricardo's just done a fantastic job of denying over and over again. I think Kev needs to look for a setup, just something. Bearing in mind, he's got a beat trip, so if he switches the other stance and goes for that low body uppercut, lead body uppercut, you'll most likely try get as a beat trip there with a few combos as well. You're pretty good. Again, Ricardo denies it. That stand though by Ricardo is not looking fun.
Yeah, he's definitely, he gets that huge rock. Kevin shows some great head movement, tries to back up, but he does get that last shot to knock him down. Again, like you said, Ricardo's showing a little bit of a stamina loss due to, denying those takedowns at the last second, but Kevin definitely needs to work something, but he gets hit in that body.
Having difficulty and gets it, finished it within the first round again.
These guys are just non-stop throwing bombs. I mean, I don't understand if there was just some unofficial agreements made going into these bouts, but these, it's almost like the don't leave the first round challenge this evening. These guys throwing absolute non-stop bombs at each other. What a beautiful body shot. Is that the liver? Is that the side the liver's on? I'm not too sure. Either way, sits him down, closes out the show. Great work for Just Five's Ricardo. 2-2 on the knockdowns, 26 significant strikes out of the 41 landed. Beautiful work all round.
We are, how many fights are we in? We're 6, 7 fights in, and we have still not gone to the third round yet. This is kind of insane.
So that's 9 fights in. We have not hit the third round yet. Up next, we're going to be taking it across the PlayStation. These guys always living up to the action. Each and every time we haven't had a PlayStation bout fail to deliver so far. I don't expect Iklout and Slick SOG is going to start that trend right now. They're going to continue the action. I would imagine as we head into this lightweight bout, looks like we're going to be having a Charles Oliveira up against Michael Chandler. Again, that rematch of the lightweight belt that we saw a little bit earlier. It's a fun matchup that we saw previously. We're going to have the jiu-jitsu up against the wrestling, the power up against the technique. Very, very intriguing ways that these guys can match up on the feet and on the ground, guys.
Indeed, Chandler doesn't have the best bottom game, but he has a very good top game. He's got that power, as you said, versus the technique of Oliveira. Oliveira's got a lot of fancy kicks. He's got a Superman elbow if you wanted to throw that, of all things. So it's just a fun mix on both fighters.
Sound out quickly, nice body work. Michael Chandler does hit so hard, has to be very cognizant of the damage that he can put out, make sure that he doesn't eat any of those big shots, especially to the body early. Charlie Olive's doing a great job already of just taking center stage, trying to attack the body himself with these prodding shots, using the rangy jabs, straights, and kicks in order to maintain that range. Does look very, very comfortable on the feet. Doesn't look like he's rushing it at all there, one wrist.
Did show a nice pivot, but he did not have the follow-up to maximize his potential. He's definitely trying to take his time and find his opening. There he goes with a power slam to the canvas, right into side control.
Yeah, again though, this isn't a bad place for Oliveira to be. You can bring him to the half guard, bring him to the full guard. That's where you want to be with Oliveira. You don't mind being on the back foot. Instead, go straight for the up, get up and get it. Lovely job. Seems to be very much the case of Chandler staying behind the black line, and Oliveira not sure if he wants to come forward or stay in the center.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I think Charlie Olives is doing a great job of holding center cage. He's trying to play maybe a little bit more of the matador role, pressuring forward, but just not overextending on it. I actually think he's doing fantastically, but Chandler is honestly doing a great job of staying composed in those positions. A lot of people get panicked when they're being pressured up against the cage, and so far he has been able to rip to the body with massive success. You can already see the effects it's having on Charlie Olives' stamina, and it's only going to continue to do so should he not be able to block that or counter it over the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, well, on that note, Oliveira oh, sorry, I'm missed.
No. Go ahead.
On that note, Oliveira has tried a few times to dig to that body and has failed somewhat. That stand low by the Chandler looking quite low. One of them's got to put out something a bit more, with a bit more oomph to really get anywhere. Wouldn't you agree on this?
Yeah, Slick's definitely trying to work the game plan, working the body quite a bit. But at the same time, he's catching those shots in return, and it's definitely detrimental to his game plan, if anything. Maybe a little more movement off the straight line, trying to dig into those legs would be more beneficial, honestly.
Right now, from Charlie Olives, I think I'd like to see a little bit more feints as he's pressuring forward. I think that's what he's missing. He's cage cutting the best he can. He doesn't seem to be following his opponent. A little bit of feints will get him to bite on it, start to try and shoot, and land some big power shots as he's thinking his opponent's going to enter. But Chandler right now is actually looking really, really good. He seems to be doing the better of the kickboxing of the two with that kind of boxing and wrestling pick. Even with the body kicks, he's landed them very, very nicely. The timing of them has been very on point.
I mean, overall, it was definitely a back and forth matchup. And like you said, I do believe Slick had the better of the exchanges at times. And originally, you know, the Chandler pick is definitely a good matchup. The recovery is pretty good, and he does have a slight stamina advantage, but he's not pressing the advantage, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah, especially with as you were saying with Chandler Preston, he probably needs to put that pressure on a bit. He's got the power and he's got the inside boxing. Oliveira's quite long, so it takes him a bit of time to reach his shots. Say that he goes for the takedown instead, taking him straight down into side control.
No,
body held.
This might be a bit of a different approach, right? We've seen a lot of guys come out here trying to get the fight out of the, out of the water as quickly as they can in that first round. Looks like we're seeing a little bit more of a calm, measured approach in this one. He recognizes the dangers of his opponent. Looks like he's trying to take him into deeper water to really try to maximize the strength advantages and the overall athleticism that, Chandler may have.
It's definitely an educated game plan by Clout. It does favor the Chandler pick somewhat. He does eat that head kick, and I think he's backing up a little bit too much. He needs to pressure just a bit because he's eating all those shots on his back foot. And if he can minimize the damage by pressing forward, maybe he has maybe he can find his own in the striking.
Sorry, those knees right now, I think Slick OG is starting to find his rhythm. He feels like he's got the angles. He seems to know when Clout is going to bob or weave, and has landed virtually every big knee or kick that he has thrown over the last 20-30 seconds. Clout has got to be careful. That's nice work right there, trying to attack the body.
That body finally went down for Chandler, digging to it, starting to put on this pressure again. He's got to be aware of that stand, though, as he puts on the pressure.
Yeah, he definitely does show nice ducks into the body, basically just minimizing damage to the head and landing his body shots quite well. He does get that nice deny, and he's just posturing up and landing some decent damage.
Able to get out.
So far, Chandler seems to have a lot better building up his entire game coming into the second round as well.
Great work, just riding out this top position. 1 minute in this second round. Looks like Slick OG is going to have a tough time getting up, but finds a way to do so. Imagine he's going to try and press the action. Tries to get a takedown of his own. Not anywhere close with the single leg attempt. Both guys just tried to trade on these takedowns. Really is a war of attrition at this rate.
Yeah, and that war of attrition, I feel, favors the Chandler pick. Oh, Clout finally, wobbles to those knees that have been landing beautiful.
Oh, Jesus! He's pouring it on. This is terrible. He doesn't really have the stamina to follow it up. Is able to stop the takedown. Looks like we're going to see the third round for the first time of the evening, but I am not complaining. This has been a fun fight so far. All to play for heading into the third round. Going to be thinking that maybe slight advantages to Clout, given the stamina, but my God, has the damage been evenly displaced from both opponents.
Yeah, I think it's like 1-1 apiece in terms of rounds, but that means it's still all to play for coming to this third round, and both of them are hurt in different ways, allowing them to open up different shots.
I think the early game plan of Clout being to just maximize the damage potential on the ground was solid, and I feel like he needs to focus on that, but he does get dropped again. And his head health is just very, very close to that, flashing every single time when he takes that damage.
Oh, the flying knee once again. He just lands it each and every time with precision, trying to find his opportunity for the finish. Chandler staying as composed as he can do, but the damage is all really mounting up on him right now.
I would have liked to see maybe a follow-up after that roll costs like all his stamina, maybe a front kick or a leg kick to maximize that stamina difference. He does hit that high kick, and he just needs, in my opinion, he needs to stop backing up, and he hits him with a huge uppercut. This is the pressure he needs. This is what he needs to close out the fight. I do believe he might be up ahead after that strike, but he needs to stop backing off.
Right now, I mean, he could potentially be 2-1 up, but you never know in terms of the, terms of the judges' scorecards. So definitely has to continue to put the pressure on when he can. Cannot allow Slicko G an opportunity back into the fight. What a body rock. Now the head. This is surely it. The pressure non-stop, trying the overhand into the clinch, the dirty inside boxing. I don't know, Doc. How?
He's taking so many shots by Chandler with that power.
Yeah, the body work, you know, the patient body work has definitely paid off for him. But like I said and continually say, he needs to stop backing up and giving him space. And he hits him with a body shot again and the overhand delay amount. This could be it.
He survives it again, man.
Narrowly avoids getting finished. A stamp for both of them. Chandler started out with a stamp in this round, but now it's very close to Oliveira's stand. Chandler on top, looking to take. Oliveira takes the back, goes for a twister.
Can you imagine? It looks like the escape is just going to be nice and easy for him, but that would have been one hell of a way to close out this fight. These guys, at a certain point, just kind of... They were technical to start, and as the fight has gone on, they've become a little bit more and more wild, really trying to get their opponent out of there in all given opportunities. I mean, it's got to be a little bit frustrating, though, from both guys, right? They've both been so close to that finish, and there's still 45 seconds on the clock. He's trying it, but he's still surviving.
It almost looks like
just
I was
taking
going to
shot
close it out. Oh, man. This is an incredible fight. But I do believe this stamina advantage is finally coming into play, and I don't think Slick has enough to finish the fight, especially with 13 seconds left.
Nearly dodged by a crane kick, nearly gets kneed in the face. Out he goes for a takedown. With that it reaches the final bell.
I honestly don't know how to score this. I do believe Iklout came up with the, more decisive strikes in the third round, and the knockdowns definitely played in favor. But with that type of fight, it's hard to say. Yeah, it definitely was in Iklout's favor. I felt like it could have been, considering the just body work on, the early footing was really good for him.
Basically, looking at the stats there, just at a glance, it was a very close one, split decision. Looks like he literally had one extra stun, and that may have been the deciding factor in terms of the judges' scorecard, but both guys really putting all of it on the line right there, really pushing forward, trying everything they could to get that finish. This time round, Iklout was able to do so. Respect to that, man. Like I said, first time we went to it, but it was action non-stop. These guys were not for lack of trying, for the finish on that side of things there. But with it all being said, guys, we move on to the next one. Xbox back on the cards. Going to be having LW Hanzo up against AJS Ghost. Both guys come from camps that we've seen around quite a lot. Now have a lot of active members that have been doing great things within the scene. These two obviously trying to add their names to that list. Starting us out nice and quickly, we're going to be having Thompson up against Lawler. Fun matchup, power against the speed and technicality of Thompson. Wonder which way it's going to be, shaking it down. But you got to imagine Lawler's going to be pressuring forward, right? You can't allow Wonderboy to have that sort of range.
Yeah, Lawler's got that power as well, though. Like, one clean shot from Lawler and you are possibly quite dead. Wonderboy, on the other hand, has got that kick power and the unique kick postures.
Robbie Lawler is so dangerous in the pocket, so you gotta think Hanzo's gonna definitely try to work the outside, maybe land those kicks that Stephen Thompson is well known for.
Yeah, he's very much poking on the outside as it's down on the back foot. Ghost is putting on this pressure, just looking to land one powerful shot when he gets a chance to.
Nice attack of the leg. Look, this is great pressure from Ghost, really trying to get into his face. Lands a big overhand. Great step off, but no counters for Hanzo thus far. Got to imagine he's going to have to look to maximize it, although the Lawler stamina already looking a little bit suspect after those body shots continue to rain forward. Oh, wow. Rips to it.
Yeah, you definitely don't normally see Robbie Lawler so much on the ground, but I'm sure with the striking capability, those power shots, he could do something with it.
The grappling is definitely going to be a great option for AJS Ghost, trying to take away some of that footwork of Hanzo. The back take, obviously not fantastic though. Stamina very, very low. Uses it to separate, trying to get back to the striking realm. Obviously, utilize that range is going to be, having to be one of his game plans, you've got to imagine, with Wonderboy. He has a bit of a range advantage in this one, so trying to use those teeps and kicks. Work behind that jab may be very, very beneficial to him. Lovely 1-2 body kick.
Yeah, it's definitely the stamina advantage is already heavily in favor of Hanzo. He's definitely working the outside beautifully. AJ's Ghost needs to set up his entries a little bit more and possibly just work with those short, crisp jabs and straights. Landing the hooks few and far between, not too much, because he's not finding much success in the pocket as of yet. Great kick kind of, makes Hanzo stumble to the canvas, but overall, Hanzo is working beautifully on the outside.
He's doing a good job over the set.
Apologies. AJ's definitely trying to keep the boxing in whilst Hanzo's just trying to keep that kickboxing. He's doing a lovely job of just using Thompson's length just to poke and prod.
Yeah, the second half of this round has been really, really good for him. He started to find the range with his striking, like as you guys were mentioning. The body kick really started to set it up. I think that really, really turned the tides, got the stamina low of Lola, really starting to get him second guessing where he needed the block, and allowed Thompson to really, really get into that flow state. All to play for, though. Obviously, we've seen guys come back from much more dire positions. Lawler's one of the more durable fighters on the UFC roster. Imagine that he's going to be digging deep, trying to find the victory going into the second round.
Yeah, you would expect it, but you never know which way this is. Is a stand definitely in favour of Hanzo.
Oh! This is beautiful kicking. The body work. Hanzo sends him to hell. Sorry, Wanderers, but my God, that was clean and quick.
Well, I was in shock just as you. Those were definitely some really nice shots to the body. And we don't usually see that, a body kick KO or a body KO that much. So it's definitely nice to see.
Fantastic work. My God, these guys all getting into these fights very, very quickly, not wasting any time at all. I think that since they're not wasting any time, neither should we. We move straight on to our featured prelim of the evening. Going to be having the Kingsman owner, main head honcho, if you will, Tadpole, stepping forward up against AJS's The Pug. These guys, both strikers, a little bit of a different style. Imagine that they're going to be putting forward a very, very entertaining bout this evening. It appears that they're just loading in as we speak as Max Holloway mirror matches. Tadpole's going to be in the blue corner. AJS Pug is in the red. Show a respect from both guys. Now, I mean, obviously, we know that Tadpole is a very, very heavy pressure fighter. Likes to walk forward, really get into your face and work those strikes. AJS the Pug, kind of a similar ilk, right? Although he does sometimes like to back up and counter also.
Yeah, it's definitely, an interesting fight, like I always say with the mirror matches. And Tadpole opens up with that beautiful body kick and just great body work overall. AJ's possibly looking for a little bit of headhunting as we speak, just trying to land those big shots to maximize a potential great cartwheel kick as well.
Trying to get very unorthodox, trying to get some different angles going at Tadpole. Tadpole's taking the center of the cage now, seems to be staying very, very calm and composed, looking to see what openings he can get. Eats an uppercut for his troubles, though. Has to be a little bit more careful, especially on those spins. He's landed 2 of those already, and they can really, really start to play an effect on your stamina, should they continue to land, especially since they normally land when you're throwing a strike, right? And that's obviously when you're at your most vulnerable. Nice. There's good body work, good head movement to avoid the overhand. Both guys trading, duking for position, trying to get any openings they can.
Yeah, Tadpole's been very patient this first round. In Pug lead the fight, but not really leading it. He's acting like Pug's leading it whilst he's standing there just looking at openings, waiting for Pug to throw. Gets that little stumble from that jumping spin kick and digs that body again.
Nice work. Just continuing to rip to it. Knee to the body once again, knee to the face. This is good work from Pug. I mean, these all start to chip away. Tadpole not able to get the separation so far, is able to now trying to get back to that center of the cage, allowing himself some room to work. 1-2 hook lands for him. Good head movement to evade the hook on return as well.
A double jab into the straight seems to be the money for both opponents here. Just landing it quite consistently. Pug coming out quite aggressive afterwards, but again, spinning elbow.
Tadpole's trying to press forward, and he's doing a great job right now. We cannot see Pug's health, but Tad's looked very suspect. He has to be a little bit careful not to walk onto one of these shots as he's trying to press forward for the finish of his own. Another spin kick lands, this time partially blocked, but nevertheless some of the effects are being felt through that. Continues to fire back and forth in the pocket. These guys really are trading in a phone booth there, Wondrous. Oh!
Oh, it's a beautiful series of strikes and an uppercut to finish off that beautiful knockdown. Ajs Pug's showing a little bit worse for wear, and Tadpole's, you know, calm precision striking's definitely showcased right now.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, he gets a flying knee to the face. Flying knees have been galore on this card tonight. Let's say that, and narrowly avoids it, gets another knockdown. No, he narrowly avoids getting knocked down though. Lovely job by Tadpole getting that stun at the very end. Started out slow, increased the speed, got a knockdown, and then came back with another stun after he got stumped.
Yeah, I don't know if I think he may have been losing that round up until that late flurry. You know, it was a close one for sure, but I think Pug was slightly getting the better of it up until that last moment. So great work for him to steal that round, walking forward. Going to be feeling very confident, continuing the momentum right now, pressing forward. Gets the spin kick to the face. Tadpole's on fire, trying to get AJS the Pug out of there as quickly as he can. The defense...
Yeah, it's definitely not looking good at all for Ajs right now.
No, it seems to have held up for the moment there, Wondrous, but once again being pressured in all sorts of ways. Wonder if he's going to be able to continue to maintain this defense and get some offense popping of his own. Has to be careful if he's going to do so. Tadpole looks on form this evening.
He really does. He started that slow, as you said. He was probably losing that first round up until that knockdown, but past that knockdown, he's been on fire. Digging to that body, digs to the head again, comes back down, looks at his finish, digging everywhere. Pug just trying to survive, and he gets to finish in the second round.
Yeah, what a combination to close the show. He smelt blood right there. He managed to catch a slip, ripped the combination, obviously felt something, continued it, and just able to follow up with those finishing blows. That's a brilliant way to end out the prelims of the evening. KM Tadpole picking up a big W up against AJS the Pug. Dangerous opponent, dangerous matchup for both guys, but Tadpole able to make the adjustments necessary to get that W, walk away with his hand raised this evening. Another fun fight, guys.
Really good fight.
Really was, brother. This, though, one race doc, it does take us on to our main card, getting ever closer to the main event of the evening. That's going to be BSD, Simply Beney up against, or Simple Beney, I should say, up against Yeeticus. Two guys that have been up and up on the rise recently within the promotion, looking to make their names known once again this evening, get themselves into title contention should they pick up a W against them, you know, their retrospective opponent. Obviously, got GodAteMyPig up against Tranquilla in the co-main. BSD Big E, EK JakeyB. A little bit before that, Savana, LW Reaper, TaccoBoy Storm, JMMA, ThatGuyJme. All to play for, Doc. Any particular matches that stand out to yourself there, brother?
Oh, them Big E versus JakeyB, that's a good fight. The GodAteMyPig, that's another good fight, as you said. The main event's fantastic. All of them stand out in their own way. Savana recently getting the W's, the main event of last week's card, coming on to this one, doing the feeling against Reaper, risking a possible title contention shot. And so, if so, Reaper could easily take that #1 spot instead. You got TaccoBoy versus Storm, both of them up and coming. Like, this entire main card is packed.
It really is wondrous. JMMA, ThatGuyJme, they're both undefeated on the PlayStation side. I'm interested to see how they shake up in this one. I think they're both having a little bit more of a striking approach, at least in their previous performances. I wonder if that's going to be the tail of the tape in this one. Looks like we're going to have a lightweight bout between Tony Ferguson and Dustin Poirier. And I believe that you're a Tony Ferguson fanatic. much like myself over there, brother. Should have a very, very interesting bout ahead of us.
Yeah, as always, I'm learning from the very best at this game. And honestly, every time I see a Tony Ferguson pick, I kind of, inwards, I kind of like, let me see what I can learn from this, because I will probably say Tony Ferguson is my best lightweight pick overall.
He's such an unorthodox pick. You can play him in so many different ways. Decide the grapple, you can use the submissions, the ground and pound. Obviously has a wide variety of strikes at his disposal, whether it be the knees, the elbows. Obviously got the hands and feet to go as he jumps and switches into the kick to the body. Finds himself pressured up against the cage right now. JMMA trying to take a little bit of ring generalmanship, trying to have control of that center of the cage, landing the better of the shots at the moment, attacking the body, which is a great plan up against Tony Ferguson. Such a durable fighter. Trying to take that cardio out of him early will only play dividends as the clock ticks down over these 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice game plan, working those legs with Tony Ferguson, trying to find those, it seems like more of a counter approach with aggro, but he's definitely, landing some nice shots, trading those body strikes effectively overall, and trying not to back up too much.
Nice kick to the body. Both guys jockeying back and forth, as you say, trying to hold that center of the cage, almost mirroring each other in some of these positions, leaning off, landing a hook on each other. Much of the same. Good check right there. Good slip off. Yeah, very, very interesting. This is just a fight of very narrow margins. I only imagine it's going to take one real major mistake to be able to sit their opponent down, as both guys looking to maximize on every opportunity coming their way. Looks like JMMA over the course of the first couple of minutes, though, happy to take the center of the cage and try to dictate the range of this fight.
Yeah, he's having a bit of difficulty. I say difficulty and get spinning the elbow. Ferguson seemed to be the one on the back foot consistently. I think the main thing's keeping Ferguson in this fight is his chin and cardio. Main characteristics of him. Both of them are slipping, looking to the counter, but Poirier seems to be leading the fight in that aspect more and more. But we saw Ferguson can land something clean. He's allowed to spin an elbow.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, although he may have been backing up a lot of this fight, he's just landed the bigger of the damage. Definitely going to be impactful should this go to the judges' scorecard. I don't imagine it will do, though, Onrius. Both guys trying to land the biggest of bombs as often as they can, brother.
Well, as always with Tony Ferguson's fights, it was never meant to be a judge's decision, and we're seeing him land quite a few decent body strikes. But as you said, he is somewhat on the back foot at times, but he's landing some great strikes near the end of the first round.
Yeah, both of them are looking to box, looking to trade at the same time. Definitely in the favour of the Ferguson, but I say that with the Poirier's getting the hands who are golden there. Jab, body kick, coming down. Working that body is a very good idea, especially when fighting Ferguson a bit lowers down the stand. Make sure we don't end up with a cardio disadvantage coming into the second round.
Great work so far. Both guys having big success in certain moments. Obviously, the slightly bigger of the success is coming with that rock. Courtesy of Tony Ferguson. We see the instant switch of stances, trying to come forward, using that jab, feinting the kick. JMMA obviously taking a moment to reassess his options, feinting the jab, trying to get some range of his own. Nice front kick or side kick to the face, trying to get some damage off, but both guys seem a little bit hesitant in that pocket due to the damage they've been able to get off already over the course of that first 5 minutes.
Yeah, both of them staying fairly similar in cardio as well, so this is good. And Ferguson coming to put the pressure on now instead, leading with the rear Superman punch. And again, Poirier circles out. He's doing a fantastic job. Even when against cage, he's circled out and just retaken the center of the octagon.
JMMA doing a good job again. Those spins off. He's trying nice duck of the Superman punch. Those punches can do sneaky damage if you're not expecting them. Tony's trying to get very, very unorthodox, landing some spins. Eats an elbow though. Dustin Poirier doing great work, landing some good damaging shots over the opening 2 minutes of the second round. But honestly, Ferguson is just, he's El Kakui for a reason, brother. He marches forward, he's going to get in your face. kind of zombie-ish like. It doesn't really matter. It's the damage that you're going to put on him. Still has the durability to continue that pressure and keep up this pace for the full 15 at minimum.
Yeah, he's just slowly working it down. Both of them are having a bit of difficulty trying to land some type of clean shot.
Spin seems to have been a favoured shot of his so far, trying to land those uppercuts, lead hooks. JakeyB seems very content to pressure forward. Obviously seems to be part of his game plan to try and overwhelm JMMA with this pressure. We saw that they had fought each other a couple of times coming into this one, so maybe familiar with each other's styles, trying to counter it with their picks. Another spin elbow. The unorthodoxness of JME on full display, really doing El Kukui proud with those spinning elbows, with the unorthodox angles in which he decides to approach these attacks.
Yeah, he's having, both of them are, as I said previously, both of them are having a bit of difficulty trying to sneak some type of shot in. And so that, there's a lot of ducking, a lot of the head movement, a lot of those body kicks are landing. Like, Poirier's done a fantastic job of digging to that body and just making Ferguson's cardio not be an issue.
Slip off once again, trying what he can. Really is having a little bit of a problem on the range, man. JMMA not able to get the biggest damage off. That was a nice spin. Eats it to the block, though. Obviously the chin of Ferguson, as we've mentioned multiple times, so strong. The block, if it's up, is going to eat a lot of that damage, and the chin can definitely absorb the rest. Now finds himself in side control, but not a lot of time to work, but a good way to end out the second round in the in the eyes of the judges, and at least in terms of a mental standpoint going into the third and final round.
Indeed, indeed. Seemed like Poirier took that round. I'm not sure about the first round. Can't remember exactly. Between each round.
Starting out quickly is JMMA. And in the first round, we saw JME just get that rock after a very close round. Gets a rock in the third one to start it off. Looks like he's pouring on that pressure, but one of the things that I'm liking from this man is that when he gets the rock, he obviously wants the finish, but doesn't look like he's going to rush it. He's very, very content to get that rock and then just back off for a second, see what your opponent's going to do, rather than bust his entire stamina pool. That's a big kick for...
That's what you wanted as Poirier, just getting that body rock and then start putting the pressure on. You've got those hands, you've got the ability to put on that pressure. You just need that one catalyst to then start that pressure, which is exactly what happened there. But again, Ferguson's a quick recovery, going back, and now he's coming back, looking to trade.
Yeah, it's definitely an educated game plan going into that. JMMA showing that he's not afraid to trade and digging to that body to negate that extreme, stamina pool is definitely an educated game plan as we speak. Yeah, he's definitely showing progress as well in the clinch. He's landing few knees and just mixing up his strikes to constantly put aggro on the back foot.
Yeah, he is, but he needs to continue this pressure because right now JME is ahead in this fight, at least by my scores, due to the rocks and the knockdowns that he was able to get in those rounds. Gets another one here. The head health is so problematic for Poirier. The stamina may not come into full use. This is a good opportunity to pour on the pressure. Now, though, has him gassed for a moment. Keeping it up, Dustin also has power in those hand stock, and if he's able to land them against a gassed opponent, that could be all she wrote.
Yeah, mentioning the hand, we've seen a lot of the kicking towards the body. It would be nice to see if Poirier wants to dig to the body. Once or twice, he may be the case, but secondly, he gets and lovely knocked down by the Ferguson. Putting on this pressure now against the cage, breaks it off. Now coming back to that boxing.
Trying what he can, hitting air for a couple of seconds, but understands, stops it, reassesses, backs off. JMMA back in his face, nice uppercut, trying to go around the corner. JME is still very, very much leading in this fight, but is not, home and dry just yet. Looks like JMMA is trying every trick that he has in his book to get the finish, trying to squeeze out a victory in any which way he can.
Oh, this could be an issue. Got the clinch up, digging to that body, digs up to the head, but gets a lovely break. I think he may be stunned. I'm not sure.
Not quite stunned. Definitely very, very lethargic, though. Feeling the pace of the fight and the damage that these guys have been putting on each other for sure. Currently, JMMA is trying everything he can to get a finish. 9 seconds left on the judges, on the scorecards. Drops down scorecards on the clock. You know what I mean. My bad. Drops him for the final time. That was a fantastic fight. A lot of action. They emptied every single thing that they had against each other. You've got to imagine, though, that JME is picking up the W. Just had the more, damaging shots over the course of the 15 minutes. We'll have to see what the judges' scorecards say, but that's at least how I'm scoring it.
The body kick was a big player in Poyet's game during that entire fight.
Yeah, honestly, early on, it was JME's game. That's probably what takes the win. With the body work in mind, he should have, went to it a little bit earlier, possibly put on the pressure. You can't really let Tony Ferguson just duck in and out of your range and landing those excessively heavy strikes overall.
Beautiful fight. Each guy trying to implement their game plans to the best of their ability, sure that they're both going to come back better and perform going forward. Entertaining bout this evening for us to call. Happy that we were able to do so. Does take us one step closer to that main event with another PlayStation bout in the cards. TaccoBoy making another performance up against Storm. Both guys having excellent outings thus far within the PlayStation side of the roster. In the Bantamweight division are set once again to have a very, very action-packed bout ahead of us, guys. These guys, they both bring the action each and every time. Looks like they have a little bit of history with each other, 2-3, to the slight advantage of Tacco, but as mentioned many times in the past, a little bit different when you're under the lights, so we'll have to see if that plays any factor going into this one, or if they're just very, very evenly matched opponents as their record would indicate.
Yan versus Font match, kind of a classic match. Tacco taking the phone. I can't see his name. It's always on Storm. That's his name.
Storm. Yes,
taking the Yan pick.
Touches them up, starting them very quickly. I've mentioned it many times in the past. Rob Font, Peter Yan, very, very fun matchup. Both have power, both have beautiful striking. Obviously, slight advantage in terms of the grappling for Peter Yan, but you normally see these guys turn into rock'em sock'em robots very, very quickly as we see these guys chamber up on some combinations to start out the opening 30 seconds of this bout.
No,
heavy damage from Yan already, and I think he needs to focus more on just ducking it out with his jab, possibly setting up some body work, because Yan, as you know, with the Force Nature perk, he gets increasingly deadly when he keeps landing damage. Nice
takedown right there. Yan finding himself in top control. Obviously half guard currently working those short bunny shots, building up the GA. Excellent denial. This is not a great position if you are TaccoBoy, finding yourself on bottom, now mounted, postured up, and ground and pound raining down from No Mercy. Peter Yan.
I believe now there by Storm. Holding his top position, has got to be a bit wary of that stam. Goes up again, half stam though, so this is kind of a risky thing to do.
Overall, this has got to be a bit of an educated game plan from Peter Yan. He knows how dangerous Rob Font is on the feet, so should he have slight advantages in the grappling, he's going to be able to utilize that now in these top control positions, try to burn the cardio a little bit of Rob Font. But with that being said, I have to say TaccoBoy's done a great job of maintaining, staying composed, making sure that he didn't get gassed at all, and get too many transitions denied. Now finds himself back in the striking realm, but Peter Yan once again pressing forward and landing some beautiful blistering shots straight on the chin.
Tacco's main game plan seems to be that pull uppercut, just looking to pull on some shot. Goes for a takedown himself, gets denied though.
Oh! Rob Font's power landing. Lovely shots, not able to continue it for the finish. Now eating big power shots from Peter Yan. Both guys trading massively in the pocket. I honestly think they're going to be turning each other's lights out very, very soon.
Yeah, it's definitely needs to set up all those strikes behind his jab. That's his best weapon, but he's getting hit by so much damage from Yan and just constantly just being dropped and just pushed to the brink in every single back foot exchange.
Non-stop trying that jab, uppercut, hook, Obviously looks like TaccoBoy's going for the power shots, but so is Yan going for the ground and pound finish. Now this could be it. 1 or 2 clean shots. The defense holds true for TaccoBoy. He needed it too as he uses that stamina advantage to take the back. Only 5 seconds left on the clock. Gets the beautiful denial off, but that's about all she's going to ride as they go into the next round. Very, very action-packed opening to this fight, guys. All to play for, but, I mean, how do you score a round like that?
You hope the judges do a good job at scoring it.
Yeah, helpful as always, dog. I play, bro. It's going quickly. Nice hook. Once again, TaccoBoy trying to take the center of the cage. We saw how that was a bit of a tale of two halves in the first round. Both having some success with the knockdowns, but also getting sat down himself. Big pull counter.
Constantly blinking, but somehow he's just made a comeback and got a knockdown early on. Both of them are having both their head health are very low though.
He obviously really, really trusts in his ability to get those pull counters. That's a great way to take them away from him, one Ross. Put his opponent on his back with lots of time to work in the second round.
Yeah, it definitely takes away his ability to throw those lethal jabs. And with Yan on top, along with his somewhat of a stamina disadvantage, he seeks to just employ that brutal ground game by Peter Yan.
Again, maintain this side control position, gives himself up, goes into sprawl. TaccoBoy could look for the clinch get up from this position. He does, so doesn't get denied. So he could dig to the head, dig to the body again. Instead, goes straight for a trip, risking Leanne's head health, goes to the top mountain. Now, this is a deadly position. Denies his get up, which is even more scary now. And so starts raining down bombs, just trying to look to weaken that head health like he has done to him.
And this is definitely, you know, a good look from TaccoBoy. If he can remain on top and just work that ground game, he could possibly look for a finish from the ground and pound. Maybe even out the health of just a little bit. Even then, he does get that nice denial. Maybe biding his time, waiting for the perfect time to posture up. He's landing some great strikes to build that GA as well.
Well, 2 minutes left, you can stay fairly patient, rain down a couple more bombs, looking to get past that block, but instead gets a denial from the half guard transition, heads into side control. Maybe looks at the top mount transition again. He's got a few times, that's probably what he wants, but instead Storm finally gets a read and getting the deny and then going into the sprawl position, work the body, work the backside instead. Gets a deny though. A minute on the clock left, both of them are still playing fairly aggressive, looking to get the stun. Yan gets that stun, digs the body, comes back up top, starting to use that jab. TaccoBoy is really hunting that pullback counter though. That could be the death room, it could get the win, instead gets clipped by a straight, digs the body, coming up top. That blocks low with a spinning elbow.
Mate, those are so vicious. I absolutely hate being on the receiving end of them, but when they're perfectly precisionally timed and placed just like that, you cannot complain. 8 seconds left on this second round. Looks like it's going to Peter Yan as he gets another rock. These guys are leaving it all in the cage this evening. All to play for, guys. How are you scoring it going into the third round?
I'm not sure about the first, but I definitely give that round to Storm. Storm so far is looking like the more dominant opponent. Font's health is blinking, so I don't think we even need to go to the decisions.
Yeah, no, I don't think we're going to. Looks like his head health is problematic, but he's had this problem from the first round. Has been able to get some beautiful pull counters as we see him looking to fish for right there. We'll have to see if he's able to have any success doing so. The big uppercut lands with Rob Font's power. It really does only take one clean connection to send you on all sorts of troubles. But once again, Storm landing with blistering power. This could be it.
Storm is just non-stop.
Yeah, it was the tail of the tape with the consistent damage from Yan that's, you know, played the story out. He consistently tried to go for those strikes just to work the block and weaken the head health. Whereas, you know, TaccoBoy was just trying to possibly counter off those shots, and it's just not a great game plan going into a Yan pick because just all that power can just end the night and at any time, really.
Fantastic, man. Fantastic. Once again, every single fight living up to all the hype. We have another very, very fun fight up next for you. We're going to be having the undefeated PS Savana going to be taking on a very dangerous LW Reaper. Both guys, honestly, are up and coming within the PlayStation side. I'm interested to see how they stack up against each other. Potential title implications in the near future if they continue to put on performances like they have been. I believe Savana got the win outside, obviously, last time out against EK Bang Bang. A big performance for him. Obviously, this time out has Reaper across from him in this lightweight division, one of those weight classes that there are lots of options that you can really decide to pick a fighter that really represents and complements your own personal skills.
Lightweight fight, always a fun weight to go. You got such a diverse pick of fighters. Most you got Poirier, who has everything to want. Other fighters also have the same, to be fair. And we've seen RDA pick by Savana. So got good leg kicks, good jiu-jitsu, good striking, the lovely rear straight. So,
well, one thing that we have to say about RDA is obviously that chin can be compromised, and when it is incredibly difficult to stop the damage being put out your way. Has to be very, very mindful of that going into this fight. The defense has to be on point, especially against a heavy hitter like Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Already starting out with a couple of feints. Love to see it. Good check hook going to the body as well. These guys starting out very, very actively, both in terms of the feints and the shots actually being let go. Doesn't look like they're going to be wasting any time getting this fight going as we see him get the takedown in the opening going. Great work to mix it up from Savana, making sure that he knows that his opponent knows this is mixed martial art from the get-go.
this is probably where you want to be with RDA, looking for the takedown early on to then start working on the feet in the later rounds, because as you said, that chin being compromised early will pay massive difficulty. So getting ahead in terms of the health stats will pay dividends to those later rounds, which is probably where you want to be with RDA.
Oh, appears that the stream is frozen up for a moment. Hopefully that comes back. There it is. They are back at the action, throwing bombs. They didn't stop. Continually back to the face. RDA doing a great job of not discriminating, going to the face, going to the head, landing these combinations with beautiful success. Savana must be feeling very, very good about those. Has to be careful with his cage backed up against the cage though, Onrius. That's an opportunity for Dustin to let those hands go, should he want to.
Yeah, I remember my fight thoroughly when I picked RDA. I was way too nervous in that aspect, but Savannah's being very calm and just, waiting for those counter shots to present themselves. And he does try to go for the ground where he's strongest. And he lands some great shots as I say that, almost as a way of saying, yeah, you're wrong. But it's definitely, he's landing some great shots, mixing to the head and body, and just trying to back him up, put him on the back foot, and work his game plan.
Yeah, both of them taking it very slow. This seems to be the case so far, RDA, that he just needs to be a bit ahead of more of the game. So he don't want Poirier leading the fight.
Nice chop to the body. Savana looking very, very clean, just getting slightly out of the range. Anytime Poirier is trying to let go with those power shots, feinting his way into range, using those head movement to get off the center line. Almost a beautifully perfect performance so far as he gets the... Look at that right there. Stops the takedown, then gets the front kick to the face. Dustin's having all sorts of problems. Savana clearly smells blood as he's pressing forward. Looks like a man on a mission trying to close out the show.
Yeah, he's making me want to use RDA, to be fair. Like, RDA is just so clean on the feet. As you said, the health stats are a bit of an issue, but in general, RDA has the entire just everything.
He really does have everything. One of the most complete
lovely
martial
takedown
artists.
shot, and gets a takedown with the low stand by Reaper there. Goes to the rubber guard though. That's giving him problem. Get denied and start dinging to the body or help. Instead, go straight for the side control transition, finishing the match off.
I think, am I right in saying Savannah's 3 or 4-0 going into this fight?
So I believe he's 4-0 coming into this fight.
Man, he's looking really, really good. He's definitely a problem. His opponent needs to make some huge adjustments going into this next round. Quite honestly, I don't know if you guys agree with me. Throw it up to either one of you. I think feints is the way to go forward. Just a little bit more feints, trying to get his opponent to throw a little bit at range. Since Savana has been using them himself, maybe a little bit of an opening that he'll be able to get from those, from those feints.
Yeah, a couple of feints, as well as I would say stop using the lead leg kick with Poirier. It's not a fantastic kick, and it just seems to be more risking and opening up to vulnerability more than being useful.
Oh!
I think you would agree on this? I say that.
Yeah, he definitely needs to focus a little bit more on using that back leg to kick, so he doesn't, lose his lead leg to where all that power comes from. But he does show some capability in denying that takedown. Now finds himself in half guard where he could possibly rain down some strikes and overall, but he does get reversed. He doesn't feint that, and he pays for it right into half guard himself.
Yeah, this is definitely doing a good job by Savana, leading the fight for most of it, controlling the first round. When he was on bottom, he managed to get the reversal, and here he's in full guard. Probably needs to look for the half guard and gets into the half guard. Trying to transition side control, doesn't get it. It's a back and forth fight with another rubber guard attempt here. I would expect a side control transition, which you can deny, and I think he does get it there. Lovely job getting out of the rubber guard now.
Rubber guard's such a beautiful position to have. It just really, really does keep your opponent honest. They cannot sit, idly in your guard. Even though a good opponent knows the direction that you can go with it, it sets up all sorts of other options and attacks. Dustin Poirier staying calm, but Savana also, once again, having a very measured approach, just choosing when to move, when to defend, seems to be all over these positions, riding them out with relative ease. Reaper definitely needs to get something going. Only minutes 45 left in the second round, and so far so good for RDA.
Yep, digging to the head, and it's just a very slow right. Lovely job by Reaper getting the reversal. Now we've got about a minute left to work, but he's got to figure out something to do, because so far Savana has neutralized most of the offense on the ground. Another deny and takes the back. Lovely job there by Savana, just controlling this. As we said, he has been the most active grappler on it. He's just, every time he's been on bottom, he's gotten a reversal, taken himself on top, and then started doing the offense again. Now gets a bang, man.
This is a very dangerous position. Even with 30 seconds, he can now rain down ground and pound, make this head health disappear, either in this round or the next. That could be all she wrote. Good defense from Reaper. His head absorbed a lot of those shots, able to survive. Looks like we're going to see a third round for only the second time tonight. But my God, are these guys putting out non-stop action start to finish. Don't imagine we're going to see a judge's scorecard, guys. Both of them trying to close the show as quickly as they can.
Yeah, it's definitely a somewhat dominant performance going into the third round by Savana. And honestly, when he did pull the back flat, that is one of my favorite go-tos when I do have back mount. And honestly, he's working so well into the game plan with RDA. It makes me want to go back to using RDA, just like Doctor said.
Well, over the course, we go into this third round, starting very active. Looks like RDA is taking the center of the cage, doing a great job of catching that kick. Now continuing to pressure with that boxing exchange, attempting to attack the legs momentarily. Now on the single leg attempt, but Reaper all over it. That is the type of success that he needs. Confidence building, absolutely. Going to see if it allows him the opportunities to land those hands and get the finish that he may very well need going into this third round.
Indeed, lovely job by both opponents. That jab by Savana's steamingly going. Uh-oh. I just went right after it because the stun is just very much RDA's chin is scary. You're picking his shots though. Boy, he's still got that power in his hands. They're both evenly matched on stand pretty much. Goes for a low single, gets a deny. With this, I think Savana really wants to take this down to the ground coming in. He's got a low head, but...
Oh! Beautiful shot. It's just tail to tape with the caster's curse and all as as we go through the third round. It's definitely
doing a beautiful job.
Yeah, Savannah's definitely showcasing RDA right now to us for once. And honestly, what do you think Reaper can do just to minimize the damage and possibly get a win out of this?
Because Savannah's just paced him. He's just taking jab, jab, kick, jab, straight, jab, kick, jab, straight. He's just picking his shots, making it look like child's play here. Reaper's stuck for something. He needs a power shot of some type. He just needs that final shot. Trade, just make him brawl something just to possibly get a knockdown, just so he can finish. Digs that body again. Elite elbow. Savannah probably needs to back off a bit.
Yeah, honestly, Doc, on that point, I mean, it's the biggest success or the biggest openings for success that Reaper has had is from one of the slips or pull counters. So far, Savannah's done a good job of not opening too many opportunities to get maximum damage off them, but you're absolutely right. I mean, if you're Savannah right now, you don't really need the finish. You've got to feel confident you're up on the judges' scorecards, right? But respect to this man for trying to get it, pressing forward, firing out headshots, body shots, ripping to the body still. I mean, his opponent's going to be feeling so terrible if he was, real in the morning.
20 seconds left on the clock. I'm currently just staring at the clock, wondering what will happen in the next 10 seconds, because I don't know. But
fuck out of here. Oh my god.
Okay.
Jesus.
So well up until the point, and it's just leaving us speechless because that is the danger of using RDA.
It's not just RDA, bro. That was just Reaper. He decided, right? He went flame on, bitch, and decided to go 100 miles an hour through that three-piece combination.
3 seconds left on the clock.
That was
3 seconds.
3 seconds left. It's sometimes when you have those moments, those key moments, you find yourself in your groove and you just dig deep for that one strike that ends it all.
Just like the moment in the Matrix where he started seeing everything, in code, he saw it right there. He saw the opening. He took it. I mean, what a fucking way to close out the show, man. I mean, he was having all sorts of adversity, getting beat probably for, not to be too harsh, but he's probably being beat for the best part of that entire fight, right? He was having a lot of adversity. Savannah was looking just incredibly clean. Reaper to pull that upset, I mean, all respect to that man right there. That is why you stick to your guns. It's why you don't give up. It's why you, continue.
I mean,
go on, brother.
I know we don't do comeback to the night, but I think in that one case, that's enough reason to do that type of award. Christ, that was a comeback and a half. 3 seconds left on the clock and just manages to get the KO.
Yeah, no, honestly, I don't even know what to say about it. That was phenomenal work. I mean, for Savannah to come out and look so clean that entire time, he should be feeling very good about his performance, other than the last, 3 seconds or so. Because outside of that, he did basically everything perfectly. And then Reaper, I mean, my man, to stay so committed to getting that victory, to not getting frustrated and allowing that to sink in, to dig into the last couple of seconds and staying game to the final buzzer, shows why you need to be done. We've seen it in the past with, Proper Steve and so on, getting like the final second knockout or the final second submission of Mikey Boy back in the day, right? But for him to come out and do that was huge, and he needed that. So he's going to be feeling very, very good about himself after that fight. Definitely has some things that he needs to work on that obviously Savannah was able to utilized this evening, but him and his camp, Lethal Weapon's, going to be feeling very, very good about themselves. That was a phenomenal fight, and one hell of a comeback, man. That's just incredible.
Yeah, and I think with that shock of a fight over and done with, we're on to BSD Big E versus EK JakeyB.
Yeah, two respected camps there, right, Doc? They've been around for quite a long time. Obviously, EK, little introduction is needed. The Elite Kings, they have got some of the best. Our current champion, of course, Trixie, reigning up there for quite some time. Got absolute killers in his corner. EK JakeyB, more of a grappler, definitely isn't a stranger to the striking exchanges. Obviously going up against his opponent this evening, BSD Big E. I'm a little bit less familiar with him, but if I'm not incorrect, this man has hands for days and decides to go with the Costa pick, maybe trying to, really accentuate that with the power that he has in his hands.
Yeah, Costa's a good one. Well, looking at a quick look at his record, he's 4-1 on a 3-fight win streak. So he's definitely been going through the division, making some good KOs. He's only gone to a decision once. He's got 1 round and he's got 2 KOs on 2 out of 3 KOs in his last 3 wins. So maybe expect a KO here, but with the Costa pick versus Whitaker, you're looking at someone maybe dying within the first round, I would say.
Yeah, good work to dig to the body is Big E, but JakeyB's coming out looking very quick with his hands tonight, slipping off that center line, using good head movement. Big leg kick from Costa. That man has so much power in his hands. Whitaker needs to be careful and very much aware of where his chin is placed and whether or not that is exposed at any given moment. Oh! Wondrous, the speed in which these guys are starting. This might be it already.
Wow, that was a beautiful.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh my.
That's it. JakeyB wasting no time. He said, "Give me my 50K. I am out." My God, man. I mean, how many first round finishes have we had?
You know, but they're at least half.
I was going to say, you guys are live over there? That you just been killed with how quickly that was? The CTE is absolutely tremoring through the commentary booth. No, that was a fantastic knockout. JakeyB did a great work. These guys both came to swing bombs there, Doc. This time it went Jakey's way and made for a very interesting fight while it lasted.
So it looked at the beginning to be BSD Big E's fight. Turns out Jakey's the one who's going to come back and knock your head off. Whitaker's a fantastic pick for that type of stuff. So is Costa. And it just so happened Jakey to be the one leading the dance at the end.
We did. I mean, what fun fight. Sure we're going to see these guys run it again at some point in the future. Both guys very dangerous. And obviously only upwards from here. But with that all being said, it does take us on to our co-main event of the evening. We're going to be having the ever dangerous GodAteMyPig taking a step up against Tranquilla, the very dangerous up-and-coming fighter that's shown to have an incredible ground game in all of his performances thus far. Obviously, GodAteMyPig's got a great counter for that, being a dangerous grappler in his own rights there, guys. But this has all the hallmarks for an interesting bout. Sometimes these grappling kind of matches, they decide to they end up countering each other in those positions, but you never really know how it's going to work out when you see kind of 2 guys of a similar style go up against each other. Yeah,
in this case, GodAteMyPig's very much, I would say, I would deem more of a striker. He's got the grappling, but he's definitely more of a striker. Tranquilla's on a 3-0 streak. GodAteMyPig's on a +2 from his his most recent loss being to Trixie on the title contention fight. So definitely not. So GodAteMyPig's definitely known for being an extremely good fighter, and Tranquilla's got to make his name for himself. I would say he's definitely the underdog going into this fight, but.
Yeah, well, Tranquilla is, I believe he's like top 20, top 30 in the world on OWC, obviously trying to make a run in prime time at the moment. GodAteMyPig is a veteran of the scene, been around for a long time. Title contentions in the past, as mentioned. We see GodAteMyPig in the black shorts, wearing the blue gloves. We see his opponent, Tranquilla, in the red shorts, in the red gloves, starting out very quickly, loading up on these combinations, trying to land the uppercuts into the hooks. We know how much damage that does. Can't take too many of them, so staying active in and out of the range. But honestly, at this pace, I don't imagine we're going to see this fight go for too long.
Yeah, they're just in the pocket. Both of them not. One moves back, one's come forward. The other one moves back, the other one comes forward. They're just constantly in the pocket. No one to give each other breathing room, just in case they just allow themselves to recover. And with that, GodAteMyPig's definitely thrown, I think, more shots down the barrel. He did throw a head kick earlier as well, very close in the pocket though, so he's got to be a bit wary of throwing them too close.
Non-stop action, dig into the body. Quite honestly, it's very hard to call at this point. Jockeying back and forth, as you said, very even. I would say that maybe GodAteMyPig gained the ever so slight advantage in terms of the damage being output, but it is marginal at best there, Wondrous.
Yeah, it's definitely it's one of those moments where you kind of have to figure out what your opponent is going to do, since it is one of those mirror matches with Peter Yan, and he has to kind of basically just play into his strengths and look for those openings in those counter windows.
Firing out shots, trying what he can. It's so difficult though when your opponent, you know, both of them very, very high level, trying to make the reads that they can in this opening going whilst putting out an emphatic pace, trying to press forward, getting these damaging shots, but so far, I mean, those uppercuts are honestly one of the biggest things that I'm seeing land so far. The uppercuts to the body from GodAteMyPig. Big head kick though.
Oh,
made me eat my words, changed it.
On your mention the uppercuts, for me, it's how they're using the jab. They're very much it's always out there. From other fights you've seen, you see a lot of the lower people. Not saying they're worse, but at least on the technique side of things, I don't use the jab as much up. And once you get up to these higher levels, you see a lot of people using that jab, using it to poke and prod, which is exactly what both of these opponents are doing.
Yeah, you know, obviously a well-educated jab can open up all sorts of opportunities. Right now, though, not going to get to use that as we find the last 18 seconds on the ground with GodAteMyPig working the small ground and pound advantages, now postured up, raining down the ground and pound. Great damage being put out by him. Excellent way to close out that round. After a very close back and forth round, GodAteMyPig slightly maybe ahead on the feet with the takedown and the top control. Definitely going to be going in his favor in the round one. Feeling confident going into round two. Tranquilla ever dangerous though, as we see, very even in terms of the statistics, both in terms of head health and stamina. Gonna have to see if they're able to make any adaptations on each other or much of the same approach.
Indeed, I'm expecting a takedown of some type coming to the second round, especially after the first round being very brawly. GodAteMyPig getting stunned as well, getting the pressure. Goes for the beat trip, but gets countered, digs his body up top, then comes...
I did not know a spinning elbow counted a, you know, a trip.
I didn't know either, but it's good to know.
It works, bro. Nice straight into the lead upper, trying to counter back with the lead body upper. Also, both guys staying very, very dangerous, trying to fire up the head kicks unpredictably so, trying to telegraph it as little as possible. These guys are exchanging in the pocket once again. GodAteMyPig trying to stay composed, but when you've got as little head health as both of these guys have, literally only one set of clean combinations is going to really, really send you on another path. And both guys playing with fire right now, trying to leave it all in the cage, get that big finish.
Both of them are just... I definitely feel like GodAteMyPig needs to change stuff up, and that's exactly what he's done here. He's got that trip. He needs... I don't think he's going to win this on the feet. At least not the way it is currently. But I've done that head health and that side control. Probably looks at that top mount position just so he can get a bit of ground and pound off, make him have the higher head health, just give him the advantage on the feet to trade.
Nice little cross, pushing him back to full guard. Not able to do so. Honestly, GodAteMyPig is very, very educated on the ground. Doesn't waste a lot of energy. Always excellent on the denial. Seems to be all over them as he uses the down postured position now to get the ground and pound off. Good work by Tranquilla to get back to his feet though. Showing good defense. Big missed head kick. Potentially a little bit of frustration setting in for the man now as GodAteMyPig's going back to the striking. Trying to prod and poke with that straight. Sniping with it. Getting the damage off through the block. Only a couple of shots with that sort of head health now. Going to be able to put his opponent down if he continues this sort of pressure over the final 65 seconds of this second round. Oh, there it is!
Oh, what a beautiful shot, and this could close it out, but
manages to
beautiful
survive.
read. Beautiful read on that, and he just gets out of the way with little to no head health to spare.
Yeah, that head health is shot to shit, to put it in basic terms.
Oh, beautiful reversal, though. This is desperately what he needs.
This is where Tranquilla gets his best work done, but it's just not enough time for him to get anything going with it, of course. GodAteMyPig opting to go over to the full guard just to ride out a couple of seconds relatively safely. So, as we see, there's an advantage. First round to Tranquilla with that stun. Second round definitely going in the advantage of GodAteMyPig with the advantages in the stuns and his side. Third round all to play for, my guys. I mean, obviously, adaptations need to be made. I feel like maybe a takedown needed for Tranquilla to secure this third round. GodAteMyPig, maybe a little bit more of what's needed. But as I say that, lands some beautiful work with his hands. Not for too long as he gets put on his back, though.
Beautiful trip in the side control, and he does deny that. He is possibly looking for a top mount posture up to rain down damage, but he does get denied, and he's waiting just for that moment if he can reverse it. But no, he gets the reversal on him instead. And this is definitely not where GodAteMyPig wants to be, because at any given point, whoever wins this third round could possibly win the whole fight. And
that's a no by Tranquil, high stam, and he's got can get that head health back down to blinking.
He does eat a little bit away at the stamina, but overall, he needs to focus on just the damaging strikes. That head health is definitely low.
Primetime Fight Night 13. Co-main event here. Main event up next. BSD, Simple, Beney, Yeeticus. These guys still throwing down, of course. Third and final round. 2 minutes 50 on the clock. GodAteMyPig in the blue gloves. Now got his back taken by the dangerous Tranquilla. Trying to push forward on this third round for a victory. Lots of time to get the work done. Although his opponent is also very savvy on the ground there, Doc. Don't think it's going to come to him easily.
Yeah, neither opponent, like if you see, they're both playing a patient game, both waiting here. If GodAteMyPig can get a reversal and a bit of ground pound, he could easily get the win. Tranquil's head health is constantly flashing. Gets up on the feet though. Is this? I don't know if it's a clever idea by Tranquil. When I say that, he digs straight and gets the. Uh-oh.
Back taken. Great work from GodAteMyPig. Now finds himself in half guard. Staying active on bottom is Tranquilla. Not a lot of time to work his way back to his feet, and obviously the head health is blinking without any damage even being put on it. Only one posture up really is all it's gonna take to land a clean sequence of strikes to close out the show. With him posturing over into the mount, this is going to be terrible for Tranquilla.
This is deadly for Tranquilla. GodAteMyPig rained down a shot. Such a low head health. He needs like one more shot, maybe two, and got the win. But just Tranquil staying so patient, so careful. GodAteMyPig don't want to risk it either, and I think he maybe should do. Maybe try the half guard posture up, just something. Gets the side saddle going instead. Yeah,
he's using GA beautifully this evening, just making sure that he keeps it up there, can get these transitions off that moment faster if he needs to. Tranquilla able to stop that posture up. That was great. He's going to try and get the separation with the last couple of seconds, but his opponent just trying to stick to him. Only 10 seconds on the clock. Looks like GodAteMyPig is feeling confident in the victory. Tranquilla trying everything, but gets knocked out with 2 seconds on the clock. GodAteMyPig, big knockout to close out the show in the co-main event.
Man, this is the second time we've seen just a brutal just KO, them digging deep and landing it in the final seconds of the fight. It's incredible.
Incredible. Certainly, brother. Certainly. What an elbow to close out that co-main event. We have now reached our main event of the evening. We are going to be having BSD, Simple, Beney up against Yeeticus. 2 rising stars within the promotion, been doing very, very well, winning a lot of their performances, if not the vast majority. I think they have 3 losses between them total throughout the course of their, Primetime Season 2 careers so far. Obviously running hot right now, trying to match each other up for future title contention. Obviously, kind of a really, really mixed style for both of these guys. They've both grappled quite a lot in the past, both have striked quite a lot in the past there. So I'm very, very intrigued to see how this one goes down, guys. I believe that from the picks, they were picking, if I'm not incorrect, was it Conor McGregor and Brian Ortega? Is that what I saw? Or did I get that wrong? I'm just going to have to double check it now, of course. They're just loading in.
Honestly, it's been a great night of fights overall, and this one is definitely one of the ones I've been looking forward to. Simple Beney is a very good striker. He's shown a lot in the past. He just steamrolls over people and just leaves nothing but destruction in his wake.
I did get it wrong. It is Brian T. City Ortega up against Max blessed Holloway. These guys 5-5 going into it. Gonna see if they can break that tie under the lights of Primetime MMA once again. Primetime MMA Fight Night 13, bringing all the action. We'll be back with you, of course, next Saturday. Right now, though, we've got the main event ahead of us. These guys going to be starting out relatively fast. If they're, familiar with each other, you've got to imagine. Don't think they're going to be trying to have too much of a feeling out process, considering the matchups they've had in the past.
Yeah, both of them are very much in character picks. Yeeticus going Ortega, Simple Beney's going Holloway, but Holloway does have a bit of the ground game, but against Ortega, it doesn't mean much.
Yeah, good combinations from Simple Beney. Simple Beney, he's just really putting it all together, landing a good uppercut. Yeeticus has to be a little bit careful. Excellent single leg with the turning takedown, able to get this half guard, and once again, this is where Yeeticus is able to do some of his best work, has incredibly dangerous submissions, overall excellent top control. Looks like his opponent, Simple Beney, though, is wary of GA, knows how to play that game and is building it beautifully with these short shots, uses it to regain the full guard, getting off a couple of denials in the process. Max Holloway looking very calm and composed on bottom so far.
Indeed. Yeeticus is being slow, as you said. Simple Beney making sure to build that GA. Yeeticus attempts an arm triangle. Probably looking here more for control time than anything else.
Yeah, that early on, especially with the stamina being so even, I don't think he felt like he was going to get it. But like you say, he rides out a couple of top control. Maybe looking for an opportunity to read which way that he was going, but his opponent just kind of sat there and looked to read his opponent himself. Now slicing across into side saddle. Brian Ortega obviously very dangerous in all positions from top and bottom. So the longer it stays down here, the worse it's going to get. Goes north-south, trying to get the choke, but Beney aware to it this time. I mean, right now, Beney's doing a great job of defending himself. Yeeticus is obviously pouring on the pressure beautifully, but excellent reversal from Holloway. Uses it to separate. Still got a minute 40 on the clock. Now going to be using that to light him up with the hands, given the opportunity, of course. Got the hands of Holloway to go with him.
Holloway takedown.
Yeah.
Straight onto the ground and very simple.
Takedown defense not holding up over the course of this first 4 minutes. Yeeticus entering those shots beautifully. Had a lot of top control over the course of those first couple of minutes. Still got 60 seconds left on the clock. Both enough time to get a ground and pound or a submission off. Tries for the triangle. This time, though, his opponent all over it.
That was a go-go.
Oh, maybe a go-go then. Maybe a go-go. You could be right.
Yeah, it's a go-go.
Overall, Simple Beney just, being very patient and composed on the ground, whereas some people might be panicking just a bit. But he does try to go for that sprawl, and it does get denied. The crucifix gets just out of it.
And I think the thing to note there, one we are seeing, it's just experience in the game. He knows this is a 5-round fight, even though he's having a lot of adversity in this first round. If he's able to maintain and defend well in the first, he's just one down and he's got 4 more rounds that he could win. So, educated approach from him. Definitely a lot of adversity in that first round. Yeeticus looking very, very good. But that's not to say that he wasn't having success of his own, right, Doc? Able to land those hands in the moments it was on the feet. Just some excellent takedowns from Yeeticus.
I definitely think that Simple Beney may have even won that round just from the significant strikes. Purely because of the lack of stuff he did. He was looking for control time and a few subs, but didn't actually do anything on the ground when he was on the ground mainly. Got the top mount, but Simple Beney also defended it quite well. And here we see Simple Beney coming out drawing shots, but Yeeticus lands a head kick in return.
Another front kick to the face, but quite honestly, on the feet, it does just look like Simple Beney's a little bit of a step ahead with the hands, at least, using Holloway's beautiful volume striking to his advantage. Chambering up on the combinations, eats a pull elbow there, tries to go for the body combinations. Now the takedown attempt, but all over the defense this time. Holloway prepared for that takedown. Now trying to get some damage off of his own. Trying everything he can, shoots for another single leg. Yeeticus able to get the turn on this one. Once again, very dangerous with both submissions and his ground and pound opportunities. Probably going to take the position first, though. There, one Rios, especially with a lot of time in the round. Gets reversed, though. Jeez.
Definitely something Benny needed to possibly get ahead in this second round. He does stand up, which is a smart move by him. He knows he's not necessarily going to be able to capitalize on the top position on the ground against somebody like Yeeticus. So he's trying to stay on the feet, but then he gets, Yeeticus takes his back and power slams him back down on the ground into side control.
Excellent denials from Simple Benny. Seems to be all over the defensive. Grappling this evening needs to be with a dangerous top grappler like Yeeticus, trying every angle he can to make sure that he can sink in a submission or a obviously ground and pound sequence. Right now, though, once again, both guys denying with just absolute ease. I'm surprised that Yeeticus continues to go right over and over again. I think that's the 4th time he's gone that direction.
Wouldn't be surprised. It's very much Yeeticus needs to add something special to his grappling. It goes that same way again. Benny's got a read on. He's denied it twice.
That was actually sorry to interrupt you, brother. That was actually the other side. He actually went the other side for a change, but it still got defended. Nevertheless, nice uppercuts from Holloway though. Now trying to pour on the pressure. The grappling exchange is starting to have a little bit of a wearisome effect on Yeeticus's stamina. That and the rocks definitely not going to be playing in his favor. 60 seconds, potentially a little bit of mental warfare going on from Yeeticus, trying to buy a little bit of time to get the recovery in between rounds. Does not look like Holloway's going to give it to him though, Unrius. All hands over the course of this last 40 seconds.
Yeah, it's definitely, he's pouring on the pressure, trying to even it out, and he's landing some beautiful strikes. And Yeeticus is hurt, he's rocked, he's backing up towards the cage. He narrowly misses getting clipped by that spinning elbow.
Pouring it on the takedown attempt once more from Yeeticus, able to get it. Only 8 seconds left on the clock. That's more to stop the forward pressure of Max Holloway. Going to have to go into this next round starting striking again. And of course, Holloway's got that fantastic recovery, Doc. So it's going to get a little bit problematic for Yeeticus unless he's able to secure an early takedown, you would imagine.
Yeah, even then though, the stam is becoming a massive issue. This is just waiting for Max Holloway to find the right shot. When grappling with low stam versus a high stam person, it makes it incredibly difficult. Just one deny extremely screws you more than it would usually. So it's just Yeeticus has got to pull something out of the bag, and I don't know what he has in the bag left.
But we've seen how dangerous he is with submissions in the past. Obviously, he can ground and pound when he gets the opportunity, but Simple Benny does seem to be all over the submission defense up to this point in the fight. So I don't know if that's going to be his opportunity for the finish. It's a lot easier for us to sit here and say it than it is to do it in the moment. He's trying everything he can, though, and if there is anybody that's able, I put my money on Yeeticus to be able to put the money, to pull the money out of the bag. He's always a guy that never gives up in his fights. Can get a little bit frustrated, sure, like we all can, but you never see the man just give up on his performances. Always pushing forward, always trying to get the victories, as we see from him now, just pumping those feints over and over again. Maybe a couple too many, as we see Simple Benny now getting the gassed Yeeticus flipped over nice and easily, slicing across into side saddle with lots and lots of time to work there on us.
Yeah, it's definitely something he's looking forward to, at putting a little bit of punishment on Yeeticus, a little, a taste of his own medicine. He does stand up, which is a smart move by him. He definitely has the stamina advantage, so he can definitely work that in his favor with the striking of Max Holloway. Beautiful spinning elbow. He triples up on it trying to get it, and he gets the last one. And this is definitely where he wants to be right now on the stand-up. Yeeticus showing a little gamesmanship, maybe frustrated by the 3 attempts, but overall, Simple Benny's definitely on the good foot right now. He has a huge stamp. Hits him with the uppercut rock and the doubles up to the body, just pouring on that pressure.
Yeah, and the takedown defense is there when Yeeticus is trying to change levels and stop that forward momentum. It does manage to stop the pressure, of course, but doesn't allow him to get out of the woods entirely, as he's still hurt. And obviously the stamina's being very, very troublesome at this point. I think Yeeticus is almost playing this right, though. I mean, you don't want to just go on and walk into the wood chipper, do you, dog? You just kind of want to take your time, try to get your opponent a little frustrated, and maybe this is the way.
Yeah, you're hoping Benny makes a mistake. You're hoping he manages to get ducked. He throws an uppercut, an ill-timed head kick, or just something, so you can just look for that one big counter shot. And so far, Benny's staying fairly calm. Yeeticus gets a takedown, but with no stam pretty much against Holloway's nearly max stam, you have an extremely difficult time just doing anything. 50 seconds left within this round, and Yeeticus is done. He's having incredible difficulty just trying to land something to stay in this fight.
There is one thing that I've maybe picked. Oh man, that's a massive knockdown. I don't. What I was going to say can be holstered for a moment. As simple, Benny's pushing for the finish, one shot away, but Yeeticus holding on for dear life, pulling him back down, trying to close it out, trying to get to those championship rounds, but Benny says no. That next championship spot is mine. Picking up the W this evening up against a dangerous opponent. Got to be feeling very, very good about himself going forward into the title contention. That's a great standout performance from that man there. I mean, all around, the hands look very clean tonight there, Wonderous.
Yeah, it was definitely... Yeeticus tried to play his game, possibly get some groundwork in, but they would honestly, the whole story of the fight was those denials. The denials from both men were fantastic, but I do believe, like Doctor said, Simple Benny just was a little bit cleaner in his delivery of his game plan.
That he was. Well, with that is the entire card to its completion. Stick about for just a moment, have a couple of upcoming things we need to let you know about, of course. We have up and coming very, very shortly on this Wednesday, I do believe it is. It's going to be Bane's event up and coming. Oh, that's the wrong event. I do apologize. I think it's on this one instead. There it is. My apologies. So we got the Bane Invitational going to be on July 7th. That's this Wednesday. As you can see there, 2 p.m. MST, 9 p.m. BST. Got a lot of top killers in that event. Make sure to stop by, support it. We are now going to be pushing the love forward, raiding somebody within the community. Stick by. Make sure to join the raid. We appreciate each and every one of you stopping by this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure calling these fights alongside you there, Juan Rios and Doc. As always, guys, cannot wait to see you in the next one.